Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the One Play Esports Valorant India Invitational. My name is Vivek. Joining me for this broadcast is my man Floki. We've got a great tournament ahead of us because the tournament is just underway. We've got 4 teams duking
Yep.
it out in the semi-finals. It's a mad ride so far, Floki. It's been a crazy week in the world of Valorant as well because when you think about it, 1.11 rolled out and then they rolled back to 1.10. So the patches have been up and down. Indian teams are still figuring out the meta. We caught a little bit of action yesterday between today's teams. And today, for our first semi-final, we have Global Esports facing off versus none other than Team Villainous.
Absolutely. And I remember how we talked about Team Villainous just coming out of nowhere at the last moment, showing up. Once again, they've got themselves another opportunity at hand to make their mark on the Indian Valorant scene. And hopefully, if they came prepared, they practice some of their strats, they can come in and they can show us that even teams that aren't really known can put a dent in you if your fundamentals aren't strong, if you not sound strategically. And I think that's what's going to be Hellranger's test today, is whether he can come prepared with these lesser known teams. And if he can
Yep.
make sure that he can defend himself and his teammates from all those pocket strats and all those cheesy lineups and the cheesy strats that they might pull out. So I
Yep.
believe you were telling me something about Viper early on, Vivek. You want to elucidate on that maybe a little bit?
Yeah, I want to get into Viper and why I think Viper might be that little pocket strat that can actually help out Hellranger and the others or help out any team. First, I need to talk about Villainous and how they're here in the semi-final, Floki. So,
Hmm.
in the very beginning of this tournament, we had 8 teams. Unfortunately, reckoning one of the teams that beat Rebellious couldn't make it due to personal reasons. And then we actually asked every other team in the bracket who is possible, who is available, who can actually play, and we looked at it in the most fair way possible. And then after eliminating all outcomes of personal reasons, the only team that could actually step up was Villainous. So we're going to be following Villainous versus Global Esports in our first best of 3. Guys, I just want to remind you what's at stake here. 50,000 Indian rupee, and then if you break that down, first place gets about a good old 35,000 Indian rupees to work with, and second place gets 15,000. With all the sales coming up for Diwali and the sale that I missed out on because of Dasera, that's a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I really need to buy myself a new webcam, and at least these players can. Hey,
Absolutely. And what better way to make content for themselves than streaming some of your gameplay on YouTube or Twitch? Uh,
yeah.
We've seen some players do that. We've seen and some professional players who played in this tournament stream, and I've picked up a little bit of knowledge from them. I've seen many a times that almost always teams will run this sort of default initiator SOA on Ascent, and that's
Mm-hmm.
actually the first map of the Veto that we have today. We're going to
Yep.
be going on towards Ascent, followed by Split and Haven. So on Ascent, you're going to have Global Esports and Villainous duking it out. So
Yep.
people seem to value different things. I believe we saw FaR Esports pick up Breach when they had Ascent up, and they did a pretty good job with it. I don't remember if they had a SOA. I have seen teams run double initiators with the SOA and the Breach. I'm not sure if that's something that they want to try, but one thing
Yeah.
is, one cool thing to know is that when you run these sort of double initiators, you really have to be confident in the ability of a duelist to go and get frags, or at least get some control of the site, because many a times you can just end up lacking in those defensive capabilities that sentinels and controllers bring to the table. So running double initiators, it's high risk, but it's also high reward, because if
Yep.
you start getting an advantage, you can really push it.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about double initiators, but Sova for me is essentially he's playing the same role. And I mean, I could take away roles from what the agents are, Floki, what
Hmm.
the agents are in this game. But if you just look at roles fundamentally, there are 2 characters in this game that really get you useful information. One of them is the Cypher, one of them is the Sova. These two, although one is a Sentinel and one is an Initiator, they're helping you with information. Your ask is to initiators too much? I don't think it is, because Breach, the reason Breach is getting picked up as an initiator is because Flashpoint is the longest flash in the game. It currently sits at 1.75 seconds. After 1.11, they wanted to bump it up to 2 seconds and make that debuff last longer. Not just that, the
Yep.
other reason Breach is getting so much play is because Faultline and even the Rolling Thunder, they both concuss enemies. So if an enemy is concussed, they basically can't scope in anymore with their operator. Fundamentally, these agents help a lot in the game with some of the bigger issues that these players are facing in the game. If you ask me a little bit personally about Valorant, Floki, I'm just going to pull out an anime example here. There's a little
Mhm.
bit of taijutsu, there's a little bit of ninjutsu. The fundamentals,
Ah,
however, is if you can't click heads, ninjutsu doesn't beat taijutsu, but yeah, you got to click heads. So
absolutely.
that's where the game reduces itself to that at some level, but
Mhm.
it's also got this element of madness in it. I mean, and that's where we see it and all that in all the ability usage and all these executes. And you asked this question, Floki, earlier: can Hellranger, has he got enough fundamentals to beat the teams that there's less information about, like Villainous, for
Yeah,
example?
absolutely. At that point, it becomes more about how have you perfected your strat, how many times you've played it, how familiar your players are with their roles. Are they dynamic in nature? Are they static? And all that it really ends up mattering because if you have a player who's only playing one particular style and a team just comes in really aggressive, say they're always just putting 5 people on one bomb site and your player's unable to hold, he's unable to make the right adjustments, then all of a sudden they can just walk away with it because there's the element of surprise working in their favor. You weren't prepared to defend against 5 people on one bomb site every single time on the attacking when you're going up against the attack. And I think
Hmm.
that's one of the bigger reasons why often we see these teams come in, make a dent in the first game or two, but by game three, you'll see all the good captains. They've figured out and they've made the right
Yeah.
adjustments. And
Yeah.
well, if you're Sai or if you were Sai, you just end up clicking heads when it really matters.
Yeah. Just to again take you guys to the video, our first map is Ascent. Global Esports start out on defense. Map number 2 and map number 3, though, which is Split and Haven, we've got Villainous starting out on defense, Floki. So
Yeah.
you got to remember that they have an inherent advantage in a sense. Map number 3 is Haven. According to all the stats of all the matches played so far and documented, because this game is still being documented, Haven is
Mhm.
the one map which is 50-50. So Haven is the one map where anything happens, and I think fundamentally that's because there are 3 bomb sites on the map, right, or spike sites, whatever you want to call them. There are 3 places where you can go and place that spike, and that leads to everybody getting really, really confused as to what they need to do. So there's a good 50
Yeah.
50% chance that anything can take place on Haven. Haven, however, is our final map of the day. For map number 1, it's the most puggish, the most random map in a sense. It's going to be Ascent, which is for me the very core definition of what this game is. They said they took more than a year to develop this map, Floki. That's what I remember one
Wow.
of the devs telling us. I don't know how long this map was in development. This game has been in development for a really, really long time itself. It started
Mhm.
out as Project A, and now it's a game that we, the Indian community, have really, really embraced. And I'm so happy that we see so many personalities, so many teams pick up this game. I'm quite personally, as a fan, I'm really impressed with how far this game has come in our country.
Absolutely, and especially with the addition of the recent Mumbai servers, I think everyone in India is going to be really, really happy that they can finally play on
Yeah,
extremely low ping. And I think we're going to be seeing an influx of players because of this as well. Previously, not everybody has a decent internet connection due to where they live or due to other circumstances. So many a times
yeah,
people not end up playing that. But the veto is up on our screen, and we can see that both teams have picked up a Sova, both teams have picked up a Cypher, and they're both valuing information. Really, the only difference between Global Esports and Villainous is the Raze and the Phoenix pickup. Global Esports opting for the extra body, and Team Villainous,
yeah.
opting for the extra firepower that Raze brings.
Yeah, I think Villainous, they're going for the Jet as well as the Rays. And if you look at Global Esports, they've picked up the Phoenix. It's really personal preference. Global Esports value the Phoenix and believe that a good duelist with the Phoenix can do a lot. Now, Skills was playing the role of a duelist on and off. So I don't know if it's going to be playing that Phoenix or if somebody else is. It's going to be an interesting game nonetheless. And Rays definitely has a lot of potential on this map. The blast pack doesn't do any damage to allies, so you
Mhm.
can use it freely. It's got this slight little wind up time, and it can be shot down. That was the change that did come out somewhere in 1.08, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's personal preference. There are fundamentally choke points on this map that you can abuse with the Rays, and that's what both these teams are gonna. Well, that's what NXS is going to try to do, and that's what Global Esports have to counter.
Absolutely, and NXS walking out towards this mid area with the Sheriff in hand. What's your opinion on the Sheriff round 1? I think personally it's pretty decent if you take engagements at long range and you get a couple of body shots. But it's a high risk, high reward, really, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, if you're that confident of your aim with the Sheriff, sure, go for it. You don't have much in terms of shields, but you can maybe make it work in this pistol. Lightning Fast, he's going to be playing the Cypher this time around, so I believe skills should be on a duelist. Hellranger is going to be offering control, no surprises there. And for now, the spike gets planted in A. Global Esports have to try and piece this retake together, but Cruiser God is so sharp on the Cypher. He's going to kill off SK Rossi, the danger man of Global Esports in a sense.
Yeah, and now the retake is going to start coming in with skills leading the charge, smokes everywhere on the way, and you can see the recon bolt revealing everyone's position. So GE, they're really just lamps to the slaughter here, as Hellranger picked up 2, but that's about all they got. And Team Villainous running away with 3 people alive, and the bomb planted down, they win the round. Lots of money going their way. It's going to be SMGs for almost everyone, and I believe they didn't really buy shields in the last round, so they can buy it this round. And the cool thing about not buying shields first is that in case you end up surviving, you just save a bunch of cash, right? In the first round, you don't buy those shields. You've saved up around $300 if you bought the Coast, and that can go a long way towards picking up that Vandal in the third round or the Phantom, whichever one you prefer, really.
It's a gamble in a sense coming out from Villainous, and it's a gamble that's paid dividends so far. But NXS wants to keep this gamble going. His shields, I'm not quite sure if he had them, but they've been depleted. His body deleted from the server. NXS will have to spectate for now.
My eyes are down.
Yep.
And it seems as if they want to just contest from B-Link or mid-Link. Quake is actually going to do work with the Spectre. Lightning Fast, blinded by the Paranoia, is playing close towards a shot. Wants to hit this, does get it. Doesn't matter who the duelist is, but Lightning Fast will get the kills when needed. The Spectre not really troubling him too much as he makes work with the Sheriff, finds another nutty shot under Quake. And now Global Esports on the defense is starting to come alive as they're just 2 members on this Villainous offense, Loki, with the spike down.
Absolutely, and they have Sheriffs to work with, and they picked up a couple of SMGs for themselves. You can see skills throwing that Sheriff back towards the Jet, who's kind of low, so he's going to be going in first, and this defense could have come crumbling down unless Team Villainous pull off the amazing gear. But look at this, great trades coming in from Global Esports. Their fundamentals beyond perfect. The Cypher moving aggressively forward, wants to change his position, gets 2 kills. Cruiser God, can he really clutch this? And yes, he can! All by himself, takes down the 4 members of Global Esports. And Global Esports, that has to be a shock to the system. I mean,
yeah,
they came close.
has got to be rough.
To win, but after getting those first few kills, it does have to feel a little bit bad that he couldn't pull the round through.
This goes here.
Yeah. I mean, Global Esports were really starting to make that forced buy look somewhat good. It wasn't even a full committal to the forced buy. They got a little bit of damage. Lightning Fast did pick up 2 kills. Now he's picked up a Phantom. Now they have a buy. Cruiser God, however, he's got the neural theft ready. So he clutched it out with the Spectre. Quake did get a little bit sloppy in the previous round, just jumping around courtyard. But Cruiser God is there. Cruiser God is reliable. And Cruiser God is now looking for openings.
Yeah, and Cruiser God also has a spike on him, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful. He drops it back as he decides to go for the peek forward. But Cypher has the area locked down with the camera. Meanwhile, the other members of Team Villainous making their way towards this B-bomb site, just really taking their time to get information. And this is how we've seen them play. They take their time, they get their information, and then they strike. They're not the kind of people to rush into a site without an idea of where everyone else is. They like to play this very measured approach. They will know where Kappa is, though. So now that they've relayed that information over, I think they're going to start making them move towards B.
Yeah, Skills is there on the B spike side all by himself. He's picked up a Vandal. It's a Prime Vandal. Just fully kitted out, if I'm not mistaken. So he's used all those Radiant points. He's kitted it out to the max, from what I can tell. And SK Rossi's there by his side. So 3 members from the defense already starting to move towards B. It's Global Esports assuming or working with the fact that they might have a read, but the spike is all the way towards A. Cruiser God is still A. SK Roshi, he's going to shut down Gorang, and Skills is there, the backup side, to find the kill. The trades are fast, and NXS will hold strong. And there's that neural theft being put to use. Cruiser God has actually swung over to B. He's managed to get the spike down. The B spike side wide open. Now Global Esports have 3 members on the retake. Kappa with the recon ball trying to get a little bit of information, but he only gives away his position. Needs to find that first kill. Does manage to bring down Cruiser God. And they know exactly where NXS is. This is the disadvantage with trying to plant the spike in B because, well, where can you really go and hide after you've lost so many members that early on in the round?
And just in general too, the post plant on B is somewhat awful because you're just pincered into this bomb site, and especially if you weren't able to get complete control and you were trading like that, the movement becomes very, very restricted. So all these agents like Sova, Breach, Cypher, Omen, they are really good at exploiting small areas, and that's exactly what we saw. We saw Kappa throw out that recon bolt. He knew how one person was probably positioned with the way the tree was there. Just like that, Global Esports with the man advantage, easy to take back B side. For now, though, we're going to have a small technical pause. We're going to see which team is... we're going to just take a chill pill here. Both teams are going to compose themselves after that round. Do we have a buy, though, on Team Villainous? That's what I'm interested in seeing. So maybe if you could pull up the scoreboard and see what is it that they've decided to do. Or at least what is it that they're thinking. You can have an idea of how they want to approach this. They could force here. They could force here with SMGs and stuff. But yeah, for now it seems they're just going to hold on to the money and start really building up that economy that can slowly run out of hand if you lose too many rounds in a row. I think we saw that on day one with multiple teams. After losing a few rounds, they kept force buying and then they kept losing. And then all of a sudden it becomes really hard to come back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think now it appears as the Villainous have committed to some sort of a buy. I really don't know if this buy is going to be enough. I think you're allowed to maybe just save for one round on offense when you've managed to put together 2 rounds. It's really personal preference. Kappa, he's going to be holding down the B side. He's sending out his ult drone, getting a little bit of information. Vision stepping in yesterday as well for this team, really doing a commendable job. And this time Vision is just trying to work along. He's got just a sheriff for himself, and this can be difficult. The dash has been committed, so it's not going to be all that easy for Vision to find an opening. Nobody's walking into his crosshair. The Cypher Kid's deployed. He takes a couple of shots, 28 points of health. Vision's done his best, really.
Yeah, I mean, not much you could have asked of the Chet in that position there, really. Don't really have a lot of cloud bursts to work with. You have to pop them defensively to get back, and all of a sudden, you just kind of feel exposed when you don't have your cloud bursts on Jet. Really important as that agent does not have any flashes, so you really rely on that cloud burst for cover. For now, though, it is going to be a hit towards this towards this A side, and lightning fast and skills. They're holding this side down like anchors, like completely clamping it down, not giving any breathing room for Team Villainous. Team Villainous, they get 1 kill on the board, but that's about all they're gonna get, really.
Yeah, that's it for the side of Team Villainous. I mean, it was a partial buy, right? And then they just did this Hail Mary commit to A. A couple of players were coming in from A long. They had a couple of players that got control of Catwalk and moved in towards Garden. But there were a couple of smokes, I believe, that they had to get past. So they just tried to brute force their way into A. It didn't work out that well. If you're looking at the scoreboard, this time Quake and Gorang both have their ultimates ready. So Gorang can, be the Shadow Man that he is and TP into some part of the map for a little bit of information. And Quake has also got that Hunter's Fury if he manages to find an opening. These are both openings that Villainous could look to exploit. They got off to a good start. They won the pistol. They won the round after that on offense. But if you can put together 5 or 6 rounds on Ascent, you should be happy. But now they can't put together much.
Wow.
Because Skills, I believe he's used to run it back, and he's found himself 2 crucial kills. So Skills just puts his collar back in position, gets himself 2 kills on the defense, making it look nice and easy. And now there are 3 members on this Villainous offense that are looking a bit clueless as to what they need to do. Cruiser God is holding down the spike flow.
Yeah, and once again, we saw that the early aggressive play by Kappa, and I believe it was SK Rossi towards that B side, just got them the info as to where they were. And then, so Skills is just really able to pop his ulti and peek out mid because he knows that they're all playing defensive on towards that B side. So he knows it's not going to be more than 3 people at most. Great recon bolt here, and Skills still going strong, almost gets the ace for himself, but Cruiser God pulling it back slowly but surely, but he can only do so much as Hellranger's quick to find the trade. And Global Esports, they put another round for themselves on their board. But yeah, like I was
Yep.
saying, I mean, due to that early aggressive play towards B, Skills was able to do that mid. If they didn't do that play, if they didn't do that aggressive play on B, Skills actually might not have been able to pop his ulti and get those kills because he wouldn't have the information. So great,
Yep.
great communication by Global Esports.
Yep. It's interesting to see where the information is coming from. So if you look at the setup, there's one tripwire towards mid. Nobody is really playing market or pizza. They've just set up. There's one defensive tripwire there, and if you look at Lightning Fast, he's actually just trying his best to anchor down A. Now
Wow.
Hellrange is getting a little bit cheeky. He manages to find a kill. How much more should he push for is the real question. Can't convert at close range as Gorang. The other controller will manage to win it out with the Spectre. SK Rossi's pushing out B. He's being a nuisance. NXS taken down. I think we can start to keep score between both the duelists. For now, SK Rossi has managed to catch NXS off guard, and Villainous are working with just 3 members on the server. They've got plenty of time though, Floki.
Yeah, and once again, we see sort of this problem that attackers often have on Ascent. Is that if you try to split up too much early on for the information, Global Esports' aggression can punish you. In fact, any sort of defense side aggression can really punish the sort of thin paper-like setup that Team Villainous are running for information early on. You have to play much more defensive if you want to get that information on this side. And I think that's something Team Villainous are going to figure out in the next round. They're going to realize that, guys, you're playing to split up. Oof. That was a nutty shot by Quake from that angle, especially.
30 seconds left.
They'll realize that. They'll eventually realize that, you know, we can't keep running the setup like this. We need to commit to one part of the map and try and get control there through the help of our smokes, through the help of our cover and stuff.
So interesting. Gorang actually lurked through mid, which is what Omens are meant to do. He scattered onto A, caught out the Cypher at Heaven. Vision was ready for Lightning Fast to peek. Vision will take him out of the server, and Gorang just being that lurk, pushing in through market, will manage to catch one rotation. Kappa dead mid rotation. It's SK Rossi in a 1v2, but he's only got 46 points of health, Floki. He's got the Blade Storm to work with, and he can try and get some high ground here towards Rafters. He's giving away his position. It's making a lot of noise, definitely. But look at the post plan. One person under Heaven, and that's Quake. Nope, my bad. Quake is not under Heaven. Quake is actually somewhere else altogether. The towards A long. Yep, SK Rossi says, this is it. I can't make this work. SK Rossi says, bye-bye. And he's going to hold on to that Prime Vandal of his.
Absolutely. Not even enough time to get the information he needs. I mean, by the time he actually made it to the site, 10 seconds had already gone, so there's no way he can actually even get the defuse in that situation. Good stuff coming out by Team Villainous, really, in that last round. I gotta give credit to Quake. That shot onto the short area just really opened things up for them real quickly.
Yep. Quake was ready for the aggression. So it's not going to be that simple for Global Esports. You can't just be cheeky and try and surprise Villainous with your pushes. You got to be really smart about it because the scores have evened up, Floki. And Gorang also really doing good work with his ultimate, getting a lot of information as to where the Cypher was positioned towards Rafters, allowing the side of Villainous to get the spike down. And it was a perfect post plan. They just actually ditched the side. I don't even know where they were playing. Now they're going to try and work A long. SK Rossi's there with the operator. And you cannot challenge SK Rossi like that. This kid, this man, whatever you want to call him, is really one of the most mechanically gifted players I've seen in a long time. And he's showing why. He's found Quake. Quake was trying to get cheeky. SK Rossi gets 2 kills with the operator, and he's dashed himself out of there, Floki.
Yeah, beautiful positioning by 2. He just had to press D and press his movement ability, the dash, and he was just able to get the hell out of there without colliding into a wall that most Jets do, in my bracket at least. But Skills is here, Hellranger's here as well, and they're both trading out frags here on this Ace side. Really, just not allowing Team Villainous to get in there. And once again, we see them not really going for mid control, peeking out SK Rossi, disrespecting him, disrespecting the operator, and they pay the price. Hellranger even puts a bullet in Gorang's head, almost sending a message from one captain to another.
Yep, Hellranger doing his bit over there now. This time, Hellranger.
Wow,
SK
he's on
Rossi
top of the scoreboard, by the way.
Yeah, Hellranger knows this role really well. Hellranger's been in IGL. If you look at the Omen and you really had to draw a comparison, Omen is one of those agents that can lurk, and I've seen Hellranger really lurk effectively in the past on other games, and because of the smokes, Floki, because of the shrouded step, you can actually take really cheeky positions on the map. So he's offering control, but he's also playing for information. This time he's positioned towards Garden. He's just trying to hold down any sort of aggression coming out from Kotea, but there are too many players there. He's hiding in the smoke. This is predictable. Does he find one kill? He looks towards NXS. NXS dead. Gorong does find the trade with the frenzy, and now they're pushing.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, the Cypher ult coming in their favor. They know exactly where everyone is, and this A side is going to be opened up because there's no one over there except for Skills all by himself. He can't stop 4 people, so he's going to wait for the rotation to come in from Global Esports. Down to a 3v3. You'll see who has the high ground. For now, though, Team Villainous, they're completely on towards this A side, and they have control. Skills just cutting off that path, in fact cutting off the vision as well from that A main area, and the Jet is going to be all by himself, so they're going to make this a 3v2, but Quake is quick to find the trade on SK Rossi. Kappa pulling it back now, down to a 2v1. Quake makes it a 1v1, and now it's going to be Sova versus Sova. Who's the better archer? Who's the better shot? We're going to find out soon enough as a shock dart comes in from the Quake, but yeah, that reload timer on the shock dart, rather the switch time back to your weapon, really not working in his favor as Kappa found the trade with the gun. And
that's the issue with the shock dart, right? I mean, you take out the whole bow and arrow. You can't switch over to your gun sometimes quick enough, and Kappa was ready for that. I think Quake had the right idea, but that would only work if Kappa had taken some damage elsewhere on the map. And Kappa, he's been positioned, hiding somewhere in the middle of nowhere. He's generally been set up towards B, but he's not taking any damage. So Kappa is playing this additional layer of security that Global Esports needs. If one man takes a risk, Kappa is never taking risks. He's playing...
He's the insurance policy.
He is the insurance policy. He is the picture-perfect insurance policy that Global Esports need, so that Skills can do what he likes to do, so that Hellranger can do what he likes to do. Kappa is just sitting in B right now, that's all. And Skills is going to try and push, but he's a bit too close to that corner. He could end up dying. He'll actually find Gorong. The flash there, he's got Hellranger by his side. They're looking for one more. They need that Cypher. Vision is causing problems elsewhere, but Cruiser got dead. The spike on the floor, and Skills has got control of it as well. Friendship like none other. That is sometimes truly visible when you watch Global Esports play Floki.
Absolutely great stuff coming out. The covering skills as a retreat like that, especially when used in such a compromised position. I mean, I really have to commend Global Esports for the way they're able to back each other up and have each other's backs, really. That's you know how they say there's no I in team. And Global Esports are definitely demonstrating that a lot right now with the way they played with towards that short area. I believe it was Lightning Fast who covered for Skills, or was it Hellranger? I'm confused.
I'm not quite sure, but
yeah, but regardless,
Skills did have that Cypher by his side, and this time Skills, he's got Hellranger helping him push out and get information, but Vision just lurking towards A main will manage to find a kill with the Chef, dashes in, but that's not exactly where he wanted to dash onto. As Lightning Fast towards Rafters will bring him down. So they know that Lightning Fast likes to play towards Rafters. They found this bit of information out twice, Floki. Once with Gorong's teleport onto Rafters, and just now with Vision just pushing out A main. There's an Owl Drone coming in towards Rafters. Lightning Fast has dealt with it. But the rest of the defense is rock solid, Floki, and SK Rossi's got himself the Operator.
Yeah, SK Rossi with the Operator holding down that mid area and making sure nobody makes their way towards Pizza. And he doesn't really have to worry about that because everyone from Team Villainous is towards this A side, either making it from A main or A shot. But the issue is they're down to a 4v2. This was sort of an eco round. We saw some SMGs and some shadows being purchased, but that's about it. So Team Villainous are not going to be
30 seconds left.
Backstab.
Okay.
Cruiser God just lurking in towards Catwalk. I don't know how he snuck in. He snuck into the gardens. He finds the kill, but SK Rossi, responsible as always, will find the trade. And now it's just one man Gorong. He did commit his ultimate earlier on, but there's nothing left for him to commit. Just a Spectre in hand, and Lightning Fast ready with the Vandal as a spike. Well, it awkwardly moved on to the side. There wasn't much time remaining. It's 7-3 Floki. Global Esports are looking really strong, but you got to remember, this is a best of 3. This is not going to end on a set. This is a best of 3 affair. So Global Esports need to keep that momentum going. And one thing I've noticed, one thing this game really demands of the IGLs is, can they call a great offense?
This goes here.
Have they really secured enough rounds on defense? And can they call it good enough offense is the question you want to ask of Hellranger.
Absolutely. I mean, offense is something that it's sort of what separates the wheat from the chaff. Like, yes, you can maintain a great defense, but can you maintain a good offense? Can you pull those rounds back in your favor on the attacking side? That really is what separates the good teams from the great ones. And the Team Villainous, we have seen them multiple times where they aren't exactly good on one side, but it's sort of map specific where they're able to bring it back on the other side. And Hellranger finding those picks, in fact, not giving any room to the side of Team Villainous to work with. And SK Rossi also with the hit and run mechanics. Man, just look at the amount of map control Global Esports have. They completely sprawled out on this B area. The Cypher is no longer with them, so they have no information. And just like this, I mean, Team Villainous, they're pincered in. They have no option but to push mid.
Yeah, I mean, they have two members towards courtyard, and it's Gorang who's trying to find some sort of an opening towards main. He snuck into Pizza, but I think SK Rossi spotted him out. And even if it's not for SK Rossi spotting him out, you got skills towards those newly added barrels. I mean, I call them new, but they were added to Ascent a little bit later. They weren't there in the first place, and skills will put them to good use. Vision there somehow. I don't even know how Vision found that shot, but that shot won't do too much as SK Rossi is starting to push out. He's pushed out B main. He's there. He's a nuisance. And now it's just down to Quake. And Kappa's trying to hunt for him.
Yeah, with only 13 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be a tall order for the Sova to actually get the bomb down. In fact, I think they're going to wait until the round is over to kill him. Not really sure if that makes a bit of a difference, but at least he won't get to take his gun and shields into the next round. And Quake, well, at least he's going to defend himself, but not for long as lightning fast puts a bullet in his head and shuts him up. 8-3 now in favor of Global Esports on this defense side of it. Things are slowly spiraling out of control here.
Yeah, 8-3. I mean, they've got one more round to play with Villainous. If they manage to win this round, they should be reasonably happy with what they managed to put together. But Ascent is looking rough for them. I think Global Esports, their aggression is a lot more coordinated. Now, we've got to remember that Villainous, they've got both these teams, they are playing other tournaments. So you got to account for fatigue to a certain extent. I don't know how tired Villainous are coming into this. They've been trying their best to prepare and be ready. For now, it looks like they're going to try and look for openings towards B. The knives are out. Vision is looking for information.
Wow.
Quake will commit the Hunter's Fury. He's managed to best the enemy. So, and now they're starting to swarm B. They need to get the spike down. And Skills, well, he's managed to put the run back together. SK Rossi still there on side. And that Phantom does the trick. He tries to jump up and get away, but NXS will not let him. Two members on the Villainous offense. The spike needs to get planted. This time, Global Esports have to coordinate and put together a retake. The spike is down. It is a 2v3. The showstopper is available. Is this the 2002 World Cup or the 2014 World Cup? I can't tell. But nobody's going to be singing songs about that. NXS is now burning.
One enemy remaining.
And NXS is now dead.
Eating
so
lead.
It's just one man. Quick. Yep. Eating lead indeed. And
well,
Lightning Fast is holding
kind
the
of
spike. This is Quick has to be quick. Quick has no... Yeah, not enough time really.
Yeah, I think he knew that he had to play it down to the wire because otherwise he's just dead there. I mean, they tried their hardest, Team Villainous, but they're not able to string a lot of rounds on the offense side. Thankfully, halves exist, and this time they're going to be the ones playing defense awake, but this first pistol round is going to be so important. If they lose these two, then the pressure is all on Team Villainous. They need to show some of that hero performance that they had on on day one, really, and pull it back in their favor.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know if you follow football, Floki, but the 2002 Football World Cup or the Soccer World Cup, whatever you want to call it, was held in Korea, and that's the last time Brazil won. So it really takes the jet to make the rays shine, really. It's not one without the other. So far on offense, Villainous, they haven't found enough openings. They haven't been able to punish Global Esports, but now they're on defense. The Sheriffs did do a fair amount of work. We did see some smart plays, some sharp plays coming out from them on their offense, but now they just have to hold fort. And we've seen that Cruiser God can do this really well on his Cypher. Global Esports have now managed to just group up outside B. The Owl drone is floating about looking for information. That's the first smoke coming out from Hellranger. They're going to smoke out, defend the spawn. It's again Korea and Brazil, Jet and Raze on the side for Villainous. The Paranoia doesn't quite blind. It's SK Rossi who finds the opening, but NXS there towards Boathouse will manage to find one kill, and Cruiser God has done enough. I don't think Global Esports are going to be even allowed to plant the spike. They get the spike down. Vision is there, challenging from those barrels. Smoke's being tossed in, and the Paranoia committed from Gaurang. It's Lightning Fast, who's dead. Kappa, who's going to follow. The spike planted, a couple of credits for Global Esports, if nothing else. But Villainous managed to win the pistol Floki, and that's what matters for them.
Absolutely. Cruiser God getting that 3k over there. I have to say, even though Team Villainous, I mean, we've talked about how team play matters a lot. Cruiser God has been really standing out no matter which Villainous game he finds himself in, no matter which map he finds himself in. Really been extremely consistent, and he's been sort of the ray of hope that Villainous have had in this game. Now, Wizard is doing something really cheeky. He's picked up the judge and he's plopped himself here down outside B main. I'm not sure how many kills he can get with this, but it's going to be fun to see just him slaughter people with that judge.
Yeah, they tried to really reduce the aim punch of the weapon, and they increased the cost from 1,400 credits to 1,500. Vision tries to get cheeky, but no, Global Esports will not give him an opening. They respect him enough. Now Vision can't push out B main anymore. If you're looking at mid, Global Esports they've got two members just trying to work mid. It's our Hellranger and it's Lightning Fast, but SK Rossi just raw aim is winning this game for him. Raw aim plus friendship, his three members will just swarm NXS's screen. NXS dead, the defense has got to be concerned. That gamble of buying the judge hasn't worked out for the side of Villainous, and now Gorang is trying to make this round work for them as he manages to find a kill on the Lightning Fast. It's a 3v4 for the defense, and Villainous, they've got to be cautious because Global Esports, they might have picked up one weapon at the very least towards B main. Now it's up to SK Rossi. How much more can he really find? He's just working with the Sheriff.
Yeah, I don't think they need to do much here though. They have enough control over this B area that they can all just enter the side and get the bomb down at least, and that's exactly what they do. The Jet making her way on the B side. What happened?
They've dashed in. The spike should be planted, Floki. And now Quake, he's committed the recon. So he's committed the recon before his friends have joined him. That recon bolt has been destroyed. There's one man for the post plant that really has the best possible position, and that's Kappa. He's towards B main. So Kappa is positioned, waiting patiently. The rest of the defense is trying to come together. Cruiser got from Market. Gorang's managed to find an opening. His Spectre has been reliable, and Quake will manage to bring down SK Rossi. It's now Skills actually that's on the back of site with that judge. Skills can't even find a single kill, but Global Esports, again, building their economy bit by bit.
Yep, and doing whatever damage they can to Team Villainous economy. But this is going to be the first buy round of the week. This is going to be the round where we see if the side of Team Villainous can continue putting rounds under their belt. And if they lose this one, it's going to be a hard ask to get them to come back in this game. Global Esports are going to be running with full rifles and full shields, and we can already see on the side of Team Villainous, they're still running on SMGs and light shields where there are rifles purchased. So it's not going to be the best buy in the world for them, but there are ways to play around it. You can adjust for the lack of money with your positioning and with the way you decide to play the map. And SK Rossi, that's a very cool Cloudburst lineup. I've never seen that before. Huh, that's interesting.
No, he likes to swing it. I mean, it's he looks up, he tosses it out, and he times it perfectly to just land on towards A shot so that the players that are pushing out for information are blocked off. If you look at Villainous, where's the push coming in from them? Nowhere just yet. They're not pushing. They're being extremely conservative on their defense, which is respectable. But the problem is, Floki, they've got two duelists on B. B seems to be the weaker part of the map, and Global Esports are doing a very tried and tested thing here. They're just looking for control of mid, control of courtyard, and they're getting it bit by bit.
Absolutely, and they're trying to get this control over this courtyard area, but look at the move that Villainous has already made. They shut down the door. They have the jet propped up towards that defender spawn area on B side, so the jet can rotate rather quickly as well towards A. But it's up to Global Esports now to decide which side they want to hit. Hellraiser tries to pick out towards shot, gets his head blown
30
off, and that
seconds left.
most certainly means that they will be making their way towards Defender Spawn. This is a very weird push coming out from Global Esports, but it's a push that works because SK Rossi gets the first kill onto Cruiser God, skills finds the second onto Vision, and it's now a 4v3 with complete control over this mid area. They can decide where the hell they want to go. They're going to throw out the Phoenix Wall on one
10
side and
seconds
make their way
left.
towards Defenders, but look at this
One
beautiful
enemy
mind
remaining.
games being played out here by Skills
Spike
as he
planted.
throws out that firewall and confuses the side of Team Villainous as to where his positioning is. And now Global Esports, they've put this round under their belt. Great stuff coming out here by Skills. The awareness to throw down that firewall and then make his way from Pizza towards that B side instead of going all the way around from Defender Spawn.
Yeah, solid stuff coming out from them. I think this is Hellranger just bringing the fundamentals into play. You asked him if his fundamentals are good enough to really adjust, to really adapt. I think you can see the fundamentals being executed to perfection there. Both duelists try and take control of mid. Hellranger tries to make a play towards a shot. It's a Hail Mary play. Now, the paranoia is a nearsight. It's not a proper blind. So there's a difference. You get nearsighted, you don't get blinded. Quick. I mean, I sometimes think he can hit those shots blind, but Lightning Fast is in the vicinity and Lightning Fast is there for the trade. So now Global Esports know that Villainous do not have the best of buys. Quake has done enough to an extent. He's found one kill. It is a 4v4, but in a 4v4, you always got to favor the offense.
Absolutely. Offense has so many more options than defense does when the numbers are lower, because the map is so sprawling big, and the defense, I mean, they just need to make sure the bomb doesn't go down. The attackers, they can all group up and push one side by themselves. For now, though, we can see that even though they've showed a lot of presence towards this area, the side of Villainous hasn't really rotated, and now the Jet is making their way, but it might be too little too late, because Skills finds the first kill. He's moving on towards that Heaven Eater, just trying to create as much space as possible for his team to get the plant down, walking through his Molotov, really confusing the hell out of Team Villainous, and now with SK Rossi finding the kill onto Quake, it's down to a 5v1. Vision tries to get the last pick, but is unable to do so, and ends up going down. Bit of a tall order to ask him to pick up a rifle too, considering how, considering how the only loss Global Esports had was towards that A lobby area.
Yep. Good stuff coming up from Global Esports. They lose a member at A, they immediately get the trade, and then they just start grouping up. They let Quake run away with the Sheriff. They know that fundamentally they're working with better weaponry. They know that they had Vandals to work with, and you can see Skills' confidence. It's not misplaced confidence, Floki. It's knowing that your opponents have an economic disadvantage and working off that. Cruiser God and the others really didn't have much of a chance. Global Esports, they look good when they start on defense, but you got to remember, Floki, in our next two maps, on Split and on Haven, they do not start on defense. They're going to be starting out on offense. So Villainous are really going to be testing them. I'm just looking and trying to understand Cruiser God's setup. He now has a tripwire towards Market. He's also got Vision just, playing towards Pizza for a little bit of information. And this time Global Esports adapt. They're going to switch things up. They're going to run it back. They're going to try and just work B. And Skills, look at that. That is sheer ability. Sheer raw aim. But the problem is Vision is there towards Market. Vision will cut them mid-rotation, but SK Rossi there with the trade. The Cloudburst, a bit too curved, but effective enough for now. As Global Esports will manage to get onto the site. Kappa is there towards B main. That seems to be a standard post plant. He's tossed out the recon. It's been dealt with. And bit by bit, it looks as if Quake and the others are trying to make this retake work, Floki, but I don't think they have time.
Yeah, I mean, the spike has already been planted. The flashes are coming out now, but the Cloudburst is holding them back, denying them all this vision. Team Villainous really need to make their move now. If they don't, the spike is just going to explode. Gordon finds the first kill, is moving into the side to try and find the second, is unable to do so. Cruiser God, though, pulling it back, makes it a 1v1. Uses the Cypher ultimate to figure out where Kappa is positioned, gets the up defuse, gets him through the wall, and now he's going to be able to defuse the spike with 2 seconds remaining. This man needs a promotion. He really does.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody be as consistent as him and pull so many crucial rounds under his belt like that.
This goes here.
Yep. That is Cruiser God just clutching it out. And, if he had if you had somebody to really just clip these moments, if you're one of those that like to, clip stuff, you should clip that. You should definitely clip that. I really can't think of a moment that showed and displayed more individual taijutsu in this entire game than that one single moment.
I like how you always draw the comparison of taijutsu to just getting kills and getting headshots.
Yeah,
But,
it's not just that. I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, the fundamentals of ninjutsu are there. You saw the Hunter's Fury being traded out, but Cruiser God just being so patient. That was pure clutch coming out from Cruiser God. And Global Esports have got to be a little bit frustrated with that round. They did everything right when you think about it. And now they're again working mid. They're so close to winning this map. They can smell it, but they need to not get ahead of themselves. They're actually pushing out Gorang, and Skills are perfect teamwork. The Owl drone to push him off, and then Skills there with the peak. Kappa and Skills managed to find an opening. Hellranger's causing all sorts of problems elsewhere. He's found another opening, and now Villainous. They've got 3 members on the map. How much can Cruiser God do? It's Cruiser God and Quake, and even Cruiser God isn't there. It's just Quake all by himself. Quake is trying his best, but the Phantom, being a menace towards Boathouse, he's clearing them out one by one. He's found 3 crucial kills. He needs 2 more. He needs Hellranger. He needs kills, but this is when Global Esports have got to summon all that teamwork, all that friendship, because they've got 30 seconds on the map. The spike is not even near them. Quake stands between them and this round. They can try and swing towards A. They've collected the spike, 16 seconds on the clock. But they're not going to swing towards A. They're actually going to try and work out Quake. This is stubbornness. The Molotov, the Hot Hands was there, and Hellranger with the dry peak knows exactly where he is. Not purely a dry peak. The Hot Hands and that smoke did help out. They even get the spike down. They win the round. They keep the credits going. And just look at the economy on Villainous, Floki. They're broken.
Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you don't invest all your money and spend everything on Zomato, takeout, and, expensive cars. This is why you gotta save up. This is why you gotta invest in some stocks, buy some dividends, get a fixed deposit going, because otherwise the economy is gonna be broken like Team Villainous and Global Esports. You can see that they have bank, so even if they lose 2 rounds in a row, they don't care because they're gonna have buys. This is gonna be a tall ask from Team Villainous, man. Like, I'm sure they've bought everything they can, considering that this could be the last round, but they really need to put in some work. NXS has the showstopper, but look at their skills. He just needs 1 kill, and we've seen what this man can do with the run it back when he has it up. So
Yep.
we'll see if they want to secure that orb for him.
Yeah, he wants the run it back. He needs that 1 kill. Maybe they need to just help him get that 1 kill. They need to get a little bit of control somewhere on the map, and I think maybe that's what they're looking for. They're trying to move towards A bit by bit. They've just got Lightning Fast lurking towards B. Lightning Fast is just trying to gather as much information as possible. The rest of the team is now grouped up towards A. He actually gets that ultimate point, so he's got the run it back. This is what Global Esports want to abuse time and time again. There you go. He's going to run it back, and this time it works.
Yep, he's able to find the first kill.
He's found the first kill. He's looking for the second. 1 kill is enough. Global Esports are trying to capitalize on this chaos. They've done it off. The Cruiser God was that one nuisance towards Garden that they had to deal with, and now it's Quake. He's been a nuisance in the past, but his Bulldog doesn't do him any favors as he tries to make that retake happen from the heavens, but it's not going to work, Floki.
Yeah, and once again, Global Esports, like I mentioned, showing why the fundamentals are so strong, showing why that they are considered one of the best Valorant teams in India. Especially with Skills and SK Rossi popping off like that. Skills, I really have to hand it to him. The way this man just pushes aggressively without any fear, sometimes not even using flashes, it's inspiring. It's really inspiring to have someone who is not afraid to go in and take a fight. Who's like, you know what, guys, it's okay if we don't have flashes. It's okay if you don't set me up with spokes. I'm just going to go in, I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to try to click heads. And that's exactly what he does. What else could he ask for from your entry frag or from your duelist? What else could he want from them? Really. And Skills,
I mean, he's being set up, but he's being set up perfectly by his IGL and his team. Like, his team is setting him up. SK Rossi is doing his bit. I mean, definitely effective with the operator. I don't know if you have a more effective user of the operator in terms of aggression. I mean, on offense and on defense, SK Rossi does a lot, but he's got that confidence to just be aggressive if needed. So Yeah, solid showing of the fundamental skills being set up to be on the top. Great stuff coming out from Global Esports, Floki. I think map number 2 and map number 3 might be a little bit tricky because we've got Split coming
Yep.
up and Haven. Split is on paper defender favored. I think the percentages don't vary that much. I think it's like 52, 53 in favor of the defense, and I think 48% in favor of the offense. So Villainous, at least on Split, they're going to be starting out on defense. That's definitely an advantage working for them in this best of 3.
Absolutely. And in case you're enjoying the stream, in case you like what we're doing, in case you like what you're seeing, I do recommend you follow One Play Esports on YouTube. The socials are there in the description. You can follow them on Twitter. That's One Play Esports, the number One Play Esports. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube over here. Subscribe because there are going to be more such tournaments in the future and you don't want to miss out on them. In case you like the work me and Vivek have been doing, our social medias are right below our faces. So you can follow me on Twitter and you can find Vivek on Instagram. We're going to be seeing you very soon with map number 2, which is going to be Split. So don't go anywhere. Get yourself some chai and we'll be right back.
Reposition himself, and SMX is going to end up falling. Goro with the Vandal finds the kills, but Skargod and Knight Rider are there for those kills, for those strays, as Knight Rider finds 2 crucial kills with the knives. It's NXS all by himself with that Sheriff. He's going to tap the spike, but I don't think he's going to be able to do this. He needs the headshot. He gets the headshot. So it's not going to be easy to take control of Lambs. Dodge has tossed the flash. There is a smoke coming in from the Brimstone on the spike. Somebody needs to tap it. Somebody needs time to tap it. But NXS is just finding kill after kill after kill, and now it's one man for the defense, SMX, and look at how far he's been pushed off. The operator paying dividends, Floki, as
this round could just be shut down very quickly for Team Villainous. As you've seen, all the rounds they've lost at the back of that Rolling Thunder. For now, the flash is coming in from the Jet. Is going to get blinded, but not before finding the pick. Quick to find the trade. Quick to find a man advantage to get spawned. No! Quick single-handedly locking down the site. Down to a 3v1 FaR Esports. They are going to be caught with their pants down. And the side of FaR Esports are going to find some control towards A. They're just not going in yet. So the 3 people are still together and Quake is cleaning them up. Most certainly going to be 4-7. In fact, look at NSX, he's gotten the other corner. Spam is not going to come through and he's going to be greeted from the back as NX has find 3 kills. Single-handedly shutting down this mid-control coming in from FaR Esports. And NXS, this round is done. It's dusted.
he's aggressive with the breach. Is it good enough for FaR? Knight Rider now with the op will sing, and SMX with the Phantom will manage to pick up 2 crucial kills. I don't know what kind of buy is going to be coming out from Villainous. I don't even know if Quake can clutch it. No, he can't. The Rolling Thunder. So they'll start with the run it back. Skargod will deal with it. Knight Rider actually finds a kill elsewhere onto the enemy Jet. That's huge. So one ultimate down dodge finds a kill. No opportunity for the neutral theft. Shivy, the first point of contact towards B-Main, finds 2 crucial kills with the Phantom. And there's Knight Rider with the op. The defense has done it. They've shut them down.
From the side of Team Villainous, but can they find kills? That's the question. Whitehorse shutting the first down, gets the first kill onto NXS. The bazooka goes off from Skargod. Does do a fair amount of damage, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. The grenade is going to find the kill. It's going to find 2, in fact. Food the God also ends up going down. And this match is most certainly done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going to game number 3 as FaR Esports take game number 2 on Split.
Smoke has come out to his defender spawn. Quake has been smoked off. He doesn't have the recon bolt for information, so he's got to spray wildly based on whatever sound cues he gets. The paranoia there, and Quake with the spray finds 2 crucial kills. Progress towards the side. Shivy is the one though with the spike, and Quake will not let Knight Rider pass. It's now a 2v3 for the offense, and it's slowly chipping down to just one man on the server. Skargod, he made progress towards the side. He will manage to pick up the spike, but look at the
10
clock. 10
seconds
seconds
left.
on the clock. He wants to just get the spike planted. Will he be allowed to? Paranoia, blinding him. No sound cues to work with. He's got his flame blindly and get 1 kill. Follow it up with the second. The Phantom has done wonders for him, but INXS is his undoing. The trick. He finds the kill towards B-Main. It's SMX, Knight Rider plus Skargod. Knight Rider does work with the knife, does manage to find 1. It's SMX and Skargod that have got to pull this back. It's just 1 man on the server though for Villainous. He's done so much with the Sheriff in the past. Can NXS pull it off? NXS under heaven, knives in hand, has nowhere to go. And Villainous will lose the series 1-2, Floki.
I have to commend them, even though they lost. It's a great showing by them to be able to show up last minute and give this level of performance, which we haven't even seen by some of the other teams in this tournament. It's really something, and it's something commendable.
At Master, just trying to hold on to screens as he gets smoked off. ZBDF is there at the back of site to get that kill with the Ghost. And bit by bit, Sai is trying to find openings elsewhere. Master has done his bit, he's taken down Hush. Numbers not looking so good for the defense, but Master with the Ghost looking sublime as he spikes first. Where the hell is Sai? Too far on the lurk.
Find a lot of information, and the rolling thunder is going to come through, but it doesn't connect onto anyone. Rexy ends up wasting his ultimate. Batman drops down, gets all the kills by himself. The push that's going to come in from the enemy sniper coming in from Batman. Look at Tito though.
Wondering if they can start swinging towards A. If they can't swing towards A, this is what happens. Tito gets punished. Batman peeks with the Vandal, manages to bring down not just Tito, he's got Hush as well. You got the Omen keeping in, but Starboy just being calm, composed, deals with the immediate threat, isolates the duel. It's close. It's going to be really touch and go. It's going to boil down to that first pistol. Sai, though, is not ready. He's not going to wait. Not going to bother about that first pistol. He's going to kill right now as he's picked up three. He's got the knives out. He wants to hunt for more.
Opening things up, and this round, well, it's just going to be about how much money you can build up. Bad Dogs building up a fair amount of it. Finds 3 kills. He might find the 4th one. The breach comes in over the Shorty. Instant out, gets his hands on an SMG. But the trade is going to come real quick from Hush. Master gets the bazooka off the fire them. He's gonna get the kill onto Lexi, but the return fire in the hole coming in from Hush with that bazooka. That grenade also gonna be tossed out. The bazooka coming in from Hush, trying to find someone, but I don't think he's gonna end up. Oh, he gets 2 kills! And just like that, RAD Syndicate, this map is done and dusted.
Absolutely.
Master, how well can you? You can move very, very well. 2 quick kills. What Noble Esports will be up to? Master shuts down the fish, goes back and finds the Omen. Just a lot. And look at Starboy comes back in. Rexy pulling it back with 2 collapses.
And Paradox is just waiting towards B window, waiting patiently for Tito. Tito sees the angle, but Paradox, he's fast.
Have come in from Noble Esports, so maybe this push won't go their way, but Master has something to say about that. Is able to find the first kill. Hush quick to trade him out. Can he find the second one? Yes, he can. In fact, even pick up Batman. That's what happens. You don't keep up with the kill feed, but RAD Syndicate first 5 round is down to a 1v1. Not a situation you want, but look at this. The Jet actually taking the sound of the... Oh no, the Jet's holding it. No, he's not. He sees his hand. Really patient here, Hush, and his patience is rewarded as he finds 2 kills for 1. Master caught between a rock and a hard place, and he's not going to be able to get the kill.
That requires to deal with. He's managing to try and get past them, and he's just holding down the spray. The ability to react and adjust, and that's really making a difference for RAD Syndicate. Now it's ZBDF, who's got himself a Spectre. He'll take off these kills. Batman will chime in with 1. He manages to pick off side. The spike does get planted. 4 members are Noble Esports bit by bit trying to take control of the side, but there's still Starboy anchoring on from back of side, getting that kill needed on the Higa. He's going to follow it up with another 3v1 on the Tito.
I can get the neural set up and running, because if that gets up and running, that big of a loss, but it's still a man advantage in the favor of RAD Syndicate. Can they do more here though? ZPDF is able to find a second pick onto Hush, and looks like this push is quickly going to scrap for Noble Esports as RAD Syndicate are able to shut it down rather swiftly. Master comes in.
3 members of Noble Esports, have they got enough? Make that 2. Hush has been deleted. Rexy dead. Higa to follow.
Batman with the collateral. Holy crap. I mean, we were talking about how Sai pulled through, but Batman in that last round as their IGL managed to pull it back in the favor of RAD Syndicate. And ladies and gentlemen, what a BO3. We couldn't have asked for a better ending.
At Master, just trying to hold on to screens as he gets smoked off. ZBDF is there at the back of side to get that kill with the Ghost. And bit by bit, Sai is trying to find openings elsewhere. Master has done his bit, he's taken down Hush. Numbers not looking so good for the defense, but Master with the Ghost looking sublime as he spikes first. Where the hell is Sai? Too far on the lurk.
Find a lot of information, and the rolling thunder is going to come through, but it doesn't connect onto anyone. Rexy ends up wasting his ultimate. Batman drops down, gets all the kills by himself. The push that's going to come in from the enemy sniper coming in from Batman. Look at Tito though.
Wondering if they can start swinging towards A. If they can't swing towards A, this is what happens. Tito gets punished. Batman peeks with the Vandal, manages to bring down not just Tito, he's got Hush as well. You got the Omen keeping in, but Starboy just being calm, composed, deals with the immediate threat, isolates the duel. It's close, it's going to be really touch and go. It's going to boil down to that first pistol. Sai though is not ready, he's not going to wait, not going to bother about that first pistol. He's going to kill right now as he's picked up 3, he's got the knives out, he wants to hunt for more.
Opening things up, and this round, well, is just going to be about how much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the One Play Esports Valorant India Invitational. My name is Vivek. With me for this broadcast is Floki, and also right here, somewhere here, is SMX. How are you doing, SMX? Okay. I think I missed out on that. I'm not quite sure if I heard him. Floki, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you properly. I can hear you properly. I think there's been a bit of a muting issue there with you on your end, SMX. You might want to just fix that real quick. But yeah, having SMX over here. No, unfortunately, I don't think we can still hear you, can we? Yeah, you need to unmute the other app, the app that's not Discord.
So many apps, Floki.
Yeah, smartphones these days. Kappa.
I remember 2004 because I'm a bit of a boomer. I think everybody first. Yeah. Okay. One sec. I'm working with my app.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm working with mine too.
Hi SMX, can you hear us? I'm good. I'm good. I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good. ये ऐप रहने दे. सबसे पहला सवाल फ्लोकी का जो सवाल था. Where do you get your name
नाम
from?
के पीछे क्या
Where do you
story
get
है?
your name from? Okay.
Man, that's a cool
Okay.
nickname.
Yeah. I think I know which anime show this was. You're as make hint देता हूँ and I think everybody will get this hint. CN टीवी पे आता था. हाँ हिंट था वो. टीवी पे आता था या ऑनलाइन देखता था ये एनिमे? अच्छा. अच्छा.
I
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Interesting.
I think I've also been doing a lot of anime references, and I think we'll be jumping into Split soon enough. I just wanted to talk about the anime reference that I had, and I think Valorant is a lot like anime. थोड़ा ninjutsu है, पर taijutsu तो fundamental है इसका. हाँ? Okay. Okay.
I think you need to like make your like a book of references slightly bigger, book of jokes and stuff. I think एक ही बार बोलते हैं तो.
हाँ ठीक है. SMX is watching. I grew up on some anime and some cartoons, and I don't know what. Maybe the anime I grew up on was not maybe the most current one. The update to ninjutsu and taijutsu. Right now, Floki, you know what they call it?
Nope.
They call it patriarchy. I'm just going to let that be there. The new version of that show is called patriarchy. But yeah,
Interesting.
हाँ मतलब बाप ने कर लिया तो अभी
let's,
बेटा भी करेगा.
Right.
But regardless, I want to ask you about this SMX. So the second map we have is Split. और स्प्लिट पे विवेक ने बोला था कि काफी लोग पॉकेट स्टार्ट्स करते हैं वाइपर के साथ, तो आपका लाइक डू यू हैव सम एक्सपीरियंस विद दिस? आपको कुछ आइडिया है कि वाइपर के साथ एग्जैक्टली कैसे पॉकेट स्टार्ट्स रन करते हैं लोग स्प्लिट पे?
So yeah, so what I'll just say is कि like for example मतलब वाइपर कोई भी एजेंट खेल रहा है स्प्लिट में, because I've personally never played वाइपर myself, and जो हमारी टीम है which is FaR Esports, we have decided a completely different lineup for split, and specifically if I just talk about Sova instead if possible. Like why I don't take Sova in split is because कि वहाँ पे बहुत सारे closed angles रहते हैं, you know, so वहाँ पे recon अगर कहीं पे भी डालेंगे so it बहुत easily hide कर सकते हैं recon से. So this is one of the main reason why I don't take Sova in split, and instead of that I'm switching to Omen, जो कि supporting में आ जाता है Omen. So I utilize my smokes and stuff, you know, and then I do some flashes here and there, like maybe B heaven and stuff, to get my entry done over there, you know, by my other players. Yeah. So and like in the Viper area, I don't have much idea for Viper. Because you know I've never played that agent personally myself, and I don't prefer playing Viper to be honest. But I've seen a lot of plays done by Viper, like they line up the orb and stuff, you know. They make a wall in certain way in which one of the side is blocked, like maybe for like if you are playing as attackers in split and we are trying to enter B side, so you know they'll just make a wall outside from B main and stuff, and then they'll try to block off heaven completely with that, and so you know they just need to check one angle then after that. So I've seen some plays done by that, but I don't think many Indian teams, you know, prefer doing that kind of play with Viper. Yeah.
I think the only player that really, like in the very beginning of Valorant, the only player that used Viper a lot was Ayan. I think he was the only one. Yeah, Ayan tried to play a lot of Viper in the beginning, but Indian teams are very different. Do you think in the international meta, like teams have you been watching the first strike qualifiers?
Yes, I've been watching it. So specifically, I was following a lot of games of Sentinels. So
I've also not seen a lot of split. I've also not seen a lot of split, पर मैं देखता हूँ, कभी कभार देखता हूँ, और I'm a big fan of Sinatra because I think he's very creative. I really like Sinatra. I like that creativity in him, and yeah, I think you're not going to be playing the Sova for your team on split, but let's see what Global Esports as well as Rebellious are going to be playing on split as we are jumping into our second map of the day. Folks, it's the One Play Esports Valorant Invitational. My name is Vivek. With me is SMX and Floki. 50,000 Indian rupee at stake. 4 teams duking it out in the semi-final. This is map number 2 of our first semi-final between Global Esports and Villainous Esports. Villainous, I mean, you don't have to put esports everywhere. They just go by the name Villainous. But yeah. SMX, I just want to ask you, if have you been impressed with what Villainous do? What do you really like about what they do?
So what I really like is I like how Quake plays with Sova in rest of the maps, because you know, he just does such nice recons and stuff, and you know, he gets the team the right info which is required in you know, certain situations. So I've seen that a lot. But what I would say is that I think like they just get frustrated a lot mid rounds and stuff, and you know, I've seen some random buys coming by them as well, where they could have just saved, you know. So I think they lack a bit of economy management and stuff, which they should work on, and I think they should just try to stay calm and, you know, make better decisions mid round, to be honest. So this is what I've seen about them. Yeah.
So
early round they start off really well, I feel.
Yeah, and I also think that the first 2 rounds are very solid every time they play, but it's always the bye rounds that they end up having some sense of confusion and they don't know what to do. They're like a deer caught in headlights.
That's true,
yeah. Spike's been planted. Global Esports have done enough to start with, and Skills is actually just pushing out screens. He's found 2 crucial kills, and now Villainous have to make this retake work, but they're really losing numbers. It's one man, that legend, Cruiser God, all by himself, sneaking out from rafters. He's got SK Rossi plus Hellranger to deal with, and SK Rossi with the Sheriff is more than enough. The pistol is actually going towards global esports. There is no singularity you can jump into and get out of. It's not that simple. But SMX, I just have to ask you a question. At the beginning of that round, did you see Vision's crosshair?
I didn't check that out. Was it kind of different?
It was very, very different. बहुत different.
One second. ये difference और मतलब कुछ रंगोली कुछ अलग ही होता है. एक
Oh,
minute.
fuck.
Yeah, can we?
Oh my god, I'm sorry. What's that? Dude? What's that?
अरे आपका
ये क्या
रिएक्शन
है?
एकदम परफेक्ट था क्योंकि मेंटली हमारा भी रिएक्शन सेम था देखे
हाँ,
we
ये
thought the
क्या है
same.
How is he able to aim with that thing? ये क्या है यार?
I don't know.
जो भी है अब पता चल रहा है quick. No headshots with them, but that's like that Team Villainous. I think this round is over for them. Global Esports are quick to get the spike down. It's a 2v1. Spectre hai, like the Gordon has a Spectre in his hands, but I'm not sure how much he can do with it because unlike Vision, unka crosshair itna bada nahi hai, so I don't know if they have what it takes to clutch this round. But yeah, have you ever seen Transformers?
Yeah, I've seen.
हाँ तो कभी मेरे दिमाग में ऐसा है कि कभी अगर आप ट्रांसफॉर्मर हो तो आपका क्रॉसहेयर रियल लाइफ में अगर आप कुछ एम कर रहे हो अपनी गन में तो आपका क्रॉसहेयर वैसा दिखेगा तो मेरे दिमाग में लाइक आई थिंक विजन ट्रांसफॉर्मर है एक
अरे आई फील लाइक ये मतलब एम कैसे कर पा रहा है वो क्रॉसर के साथ मेरे को वो नहीं समझ रहा है like
I
how
mean
is he
अगर
able to aim with that kind of crosshair
I think when you work with that kind of crosshair, basically like जितना मैं जानता हूँ crosshair के psychology के बारे में, मैं बस इतना बोलता हूँ कि वैसे जो crosshairs है ना वो सिर्फ close range में चलते हैं और वो breach खेल रहा है वो मतलब ऐसे long range duel तो नहीं hold कर सकता है सिर्फ मतलब एकदम close मतलब वो बिंदी सीधा हेड बॉक्स जो क्या बोलते हैं हिट बॉक्स पे आएगा बस गोली दबाओ फ्रेंजी ले लो क्लोज रेंज पे गोली दबाओ क्योंकि ये मतलब यू कांट प्ले रैम्प विद दिस क्रॉस
yeah and for close range as well this is not kind of a crosshair which you would prefer playing with, to be honest.
I'm just going to give you a dirty cheat okay that some Indian players used to do in other games. They literally used to put a bindi on their monitor to hit shots without a scope. Do you know this?
The other app lagged out.
Okay.
Well, you can rejoin. Take your time. आप अपना time लेके rejoin कर सकते हो. But first buy round, both teams के लिए.
It's back.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, I like how skill is going. At B7.
Yeah, really good, great stuff. He has the bazooka out and he's waiting to find someone. He's really patient, but he doesn't realize that Goreng is sitting there in the corner with a really cheeky position. Great stuff coming out here from Team Villainous, getting that first kill. And oh, wow, okay. Okay, I mean, he's just gonna get spammed out, so he has to leave that position eventually, but he managed to dodge the aftershock too, which was quite surprising. But Global Esports, they will make their way onto the side, but Quake is gonna find some kills in the meantime. The spike not being planted as the Jet had to find the trade, as actually the Omen had to find the trade. But for now, Kappa, he is sealing the deal and he's found himself an XS, and just like that, Global Esports take the third round, buy round also going in their favor. SMX, अभी अगर आप Team Villainous हो और आप ये position में हो तो आपको क्या लगता है? What should you do?
So I just feel like how they are just playing so passive. I would just suggest that they should go a bit aggressive at mid area because G is trying to get aggressive control at mid. So I think they should show their aggression back to them. I feel, So this is something they could try. Like Oman could flash from B heaven for mid market or some, some kind of like a play with some kind of combination. To be honest.
I see. So matlab, they need to put some more pressure on this mid area and force some rotations, maybe force a reaction out of Global Esports.
Exactly. Because as you saw last round, Skills and SK Rossi are able to get a very good control of B heaven and they are just giving it up easily. Which normally, most teams, they just prefer fighting over there, to be honest.
I see. That's actually very interesting. So Global Esports, we'll see what their approach is. So far, they're playing a little passively, but they have taken mid control, like you mentioned. So they've pushed up aggressively. They're outside this B Heavens area, but Lightning Fast is going to find the first kill. I believe Cruiser God didn't get the trade in time. I'm so confused. But NXS, he's going to be able to find the kill onto Lightning fast, and Team Villainous, this defense is starting to finally pull together. And as soon as they hear the big gun, they all scurry back. Sab bhag gaye wahan se. Aap kya awaaz sun ke? Like, nahi, bhi chalo. And now you can see Hellranger with the spike moving on towards that B side. And it's just going to be Gorung by himself. Gets one. Can he get the second? Yes, he can. Perfect anchor for the side of Team Villainous. He's trying to find the third, but he's not able to. Does do a little bit of damage, and Kappa is able to pick up Cruiser God. NXS is back here, but I think he whiffed his shot. And now a 2v1 with the AWP. This is difficult. NXS, think he has a lot. He has his work cut out for him. Kuch utility nahi hai unke paas. How exactly is he supposed to make this work? I mean,
So now,
I think this is where you look at individual skill, right? SMX.
Yeah.
Let's see. He has an operator.
That's
he has
true.
the sheriff. Let's see what he can do. He has no cloudburst, nothing to work with. That shrouded step. He gave away his position, but NXS, he's got to clear one corner at a time, Floki. He knows that there's one towards mains. He's trying to isolate these duels. There's that false line. He's getting pushed back now. There isn't too much time. NXS doesn't have time, so he's got to get a kill and dash. He can find one, but he can't find the other. Kappa, so reliable.
yeah.
So he ran out of smokes as well. Otherwise, he could have tried to do a ninja or something with the smokes, but
Yeah.
he was out of them. So yeah,
Yeah.
actually, what I feel like is, Gaurang, who is playing Oman at B, I feel like he should be playing at A and he should be anchoring it at A. And Cypher could
Okay.
be better utilized at B is what I feel. But I think they have a different setup in mind. Cypher is
Yeah.
just putting his traps at mid. So this is just my suggestion. Like they could
I
have
see.
done
I get it.
that instead. Yeah.
अभी टाइम
Absolutely.
नहीं है लेकिन ना बिकॉज राउंड्स आर गोइंग अभी थोड़ा इकोनॉमी आ गया विलेनस के लिए बट दिस टाइम दे हैव सम एबिलिटीज गौरंग कैन teleport around for some information. The setup is mid control. Now Gorang's on the side. Mail room or whatever you want to call it is not a concern. They've just stormed the side. Gorang is blinded. That paranoia is a bit too much. SK Rossi gets that first kill. SK Rossi will somehow always get a kill if you give him a chance. Names being tossed back and forth. Vision trying to make this retake work bit by bit. He finds one kill, that's about it. But scales Hellranger and Lightning Frost for a bit too much. And Hellranger, this is a tricky angle to hold. And NXS will manage to best him. NXS with the Sheriff manages to find a kill. The knives at close range get him one, but he's not quick enough.
So this is what I was talking about basically. So what's happening right now is that the smoke which Oman is using it from Team Villainous, so it's not able to hold their pushback, So instead of that, if Cypher had 1 or 2 traps lined up at B or something, at least they could have got one pick early off if they were trying to push in. So they are just, they are going to go B again because they already know that anchor is Oman at B. So it's easier to kill him over there.
अभी थोड़ा सेटअप स्विच किया है लेकिन क्रूजर गॉड और विलेनस ने अभी देख पुश करे Gorang is actually going to shrouded step into that corner. The boombot is he hasn't been caught. How much can he get? He's got 2 kills. SK Rossi skills will fall. He wants that 30, finds it. Global Esports caught unaware. Finally, SMX, your prayers have been answered. Gorang can actually push for more. That early shrouded step worked out. I don't know how. Sometimes ये जो मतलब दोनों पोर्टल है ना I think this portal it actually favors the offense. Like if the offense can just like scope in, you might have a win on the angle, but then थोड़ा आगे आना पड़ता है offense के लिए.
Exactly,
What Gorang just did is YOLO TP'd. Immediate portal down, YOLO TP. कुछ तो sound था cover करने के लिए. I don't know if it was a boom.
I think, Yeah. I was also thinking the same thing that someone would be checking that area over there since they even heard the Oman TP over there. But I was surprised that skills didn't check that angle.
I think Quake threw something just to destroy like mess with their sound. I don't know if Quake did that.
Yes, he
Matlab,
did
if yeah.
I think he tossed his grenade out at the start and he started firing his gun so they couldn't hear the shrouded step. I think that's what happened. Maybe that's why they didn't check that angle.
True.
But yeah, you mentioned how the Cypher needed to anchor this B site, but Team Villainous थोड़ा 200 IQ play लगा के गौरव के साथ एक बार aggressive push किया तो Global Esports have given up on this B side entirely. उन्होंने तो छोड़ ही दिया यहाँ पे.
Yep, now they have started getting mid again. So
Yeah.
Yep.
And if this works out, I believe they're going to start pushing towards A, but it doesn't because Kappa finds the first headshot onto Quake. He sees that there are 2 people out. NXS only has a sheriff to work with, really. It's not really a lot. He's going to be relying on Cypher to get the distraction, but SK Rossi peeks and he blows Alex's head off. Kappa as well is there to find the third kill. And just like that, this round's over for Team Villainous. I mean, I'm not sure what kar sakte hain abhi. Breach,
So-
Omen, still alive.
They can just save it right now. That's the best thing they could do.
Yeah, but I don't think SK Rossi is going to let them save because he's on this B-side just hunting, just looking for these kills. And well, Vision, he will manage to protect himself for now, but there are other people closing in on his position.
There's no way to survive for Vision now, I feel.
I think I think the approach
Actually, he should have
is
just fallen back early on in the round, you know, after it was a 2v5 situation or something.
तो
that's how they
SMX
could have been able to save
एक्चुअली
the
विजन
run.
के बारे में एक
But I
Just
इम्पोर्टेंट
don't know
play
how
for
they
the
are
save
taking the
instead.
fights.
ये क्रॉस एंड
Because
नहीं
it's
चल रहा
very
है ना
hard to retake, you know, after a certain point in time.
yeah, especially if it's
If they, you know,
2v5
get,
right off the bat.
B-side.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to say, Team Villainous, it seems that they are not really communicating or not really playing off of each other that well because, like we saw last round as well, Quake akele peek kiya unhone and he got destroyed by Kappa and SK Rossi. They were both there at the same time. And this seems to happen with Villainous more often. What's your experience playing against this team? Do you think that they are slightly uncoordinated in that aspect? Maybe that's something they could work on?
They are not uncoordinated, I would say, but they are rather a bit too aggressive sometimes is what I feel, to be honest. Because what happens sometimes is that they just come and try to dry pick us and, you know, they get picked off because of that. But sometimes it also goes in their favor that they were able to dry pick us and we weren't expecting it to happen, you know, at that point in time.
Okay.
So this is something which I've noticed that, yeah.
So it's more about finding the balance than for them to find the right balance between being aggressive and recognizing when they can be aggressive instead of just doing it all the time.
Exactly. And they should rely more on set plays as well, which I haven't seen, you know, I have not seen that happen a lot with them. They don't rely much on set plays as well.
I see. So they don't do any setups, they don't do any executes of sorts to make their life easier. On the
true,
attacking
but
side.
Now in split, since we saw Oman and Raze go together and, you know, do a set play, they should do something like that more often.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, Vivek, it seems that the score is 1-7 against Team Villainous. Global Esports really pulling through on this attacking side. And you mentioned how you also need to have a good offense if you want to be considered a great captain, really, and separate the wheat from the chaff. And certainly, right now it seems Hellranger has Team Villainous number. What do you think they need to do, Vivek? Just bring me back here a little bit. Bring me up to speed. What exactly is going wrong for Team Villainous? I'm not sure if this is me, but I don't think I can hear you entirely right. But for now, Goreng is gonna peek out, get SK Rossi's head. Team Villainous down to a 3v4, not really a great retake, and if they had any plans for a retake in a 3v4, Skill just shut it down because he found the kill onto Goreng, and it's just gonna be the Raze and Cypher still alive. Lightning Fast is able to pick up the Raze, the Cypher's also gonna go down, and just like that, Global Esports 8-1 now in this best of 3, quickly shutting down any hope Team Villainous had of making it to the grand finals. And I have to say this isn't exactly looking too good for Team Villainous. I mean, what do you think about Team Villainous's defense? मतलब आपको क्या लगता है? Like उनका defense strong है? Is this something कि वो खाली attacker? I mean, ये लोग struggle करते हैं ये particular map पे? क्योंकि I think I've seen them play against FaR Esports एक बार and एक match उन्होंने बहुत ही अच्छा comeback किया था आप लोग के सामने.
So मैं तो मतलब यही बोलूँगा कि Team Villainous का defense it's normal as of now. It's not bad or something, but the thing is कि GE का जो set plays है it's really outstanding to be honest, and that's the reason why they are not able to hold them back. You know, if they could have just added some kind of variety like they did in that round which they won when you know they were pushing B with Oman and Raze. So ऐसा वो लोग ने variety लाया रहता थोड़ा और तो और अच्छा होता था उनके लिए as defense. क्योंकि सिर्फ डिफॉल्ट खेल के you can't like break a good team like GE.
I see. So you have to start getting creative. You have to start exploiting every nook and cranny, and you have to really bring out the best strats in your book to play against a team like GE.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Well, for now, Korang, he's bringing out the best aim possible because he just found a headshot on Global Esports. And Vision, staying true to his name, finds another kill onto Skills, but it's down to a 2v1. Fake tapping the bomb, Korang. Hopeful, but hope is not enough to win them this round, as Global Esports will pick up a 9th round for themselves in this first half, SMX, and things are really not looking good for them. I mean, 9-1, is this... Agar aap Team Villainous mein ho, do you have any hope of a comeback?
Like, yeah, actually they can try to get as many rounds as possible right now, because abhi bhi chance hai thoda, but once they cross 10 rounds mark, I don't think it's comeback ka bhi possibility nahi lag raha hai, kyunki split is such a map ki it's actually better in defensive side, so like आप अगर default वगैरह देखोगे तो basically defense ज़्यादा अच्छा रहता है split map में.
I see.
तो
And split is... I think विवेक के साथ भी हमने इसके बारे में बात की थी. विवेक early on बोल रहा था कि split कैसे defense sided map है. So usually you want to try and get as many rounds as you can on offense, क्योंकि वो ही really difference make करता है कि आप जीत पाते हो map की नहीं. But हाँ, हम देख सकते हैं कि Team Villainous वापस से उनका defense it's crumbling slightly, and it's gonna be an A take this time around, switching it up. SK Rossi is able to find 3 kills before being traded out by Gorang. Vision is able to pick up another for himself, down to a 3v2. Doable if they can find the guns. And for now, lightning fast, he's not letting them pick up any weapons. He's just denying everything. Gorang, 20 HP, a Vandal, an Ultimate, and a Dream. This man, he's been the rock for Team Villainous in multiple rounds across a row, but he's just not been able to lift the burden all by himself. He needs help, he needs friends, and Kappa, well, he's gonna take out the Lone Wolf. And Global Esports, insurmountable lead, 10-1 Team Villainous के सामने. ये थोड़ा सा dicey लग रहा है.
Yeah, and I would just like to say, Abhi, jaise this was a retake situation for Team Villainous, right? So, if we are outside A as defenders and on a retake and split, what we should naturally do is, wait for our teammate to come in as well and together try to make some set plays, which they were quite lacking right now, is what I felt. And, like for example, if Gorang could have done a flash and they could have waited at screens. And so after Gorang flash, they could have just gone in and tried to kill the side guys, something like that. But they just got picked up.
I see.
And so yeah, that is also something which is kind of lacking, I feel.
SMX, did you see the...
Otherwise, they have a really good aim, It's just not being utilized right now properly.
Absolutely. I mean, वो बोलते हैं ना that there should be a method to the madness. Right now, I think Team Villainous, they have the madness down. I mean, their aim is really good, like you've mentioned. But that coordination, that sense of playing off of each other and really playing as a team, setting each other up is not something that they possess. Cruiser God as well. I mean, last map, he was really popping off and pulling some crucial rounds for Team Villainous. But this time around, I don't think he's been able to do that. And
exactly, yeah.
I have to ask you this, SMX. आपका क्या opinion है Cruiser God के बारे में? क्योंकि मैंने जहाँ तक देखा है, हमने जहाँ तक देखा है, मैंने विवेक ने, I have noticed कि Cruiser God हमेशा crucial rounds में clutch करते हैं अपनी टीम के लिए.
So जैसे कि लास्ट मैप में भी उसने SMG से आई थिंक 1v3 या 1v2 निकाला था. So he's he's very good when there is a clutch situation coming by. But I feel somehow कि वो लोग का अभी थोड़ा team communication lack हो रहा है. That's why he's not able to get the picks which are initially required. So abhi I just feel that way right now, but I don't know what's happening because as like we know we can't hear their comms right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
SMX, I have a question for you.
Well, pistol round hai. Halves are reset, and Vision, he's hungry, he's thirsty, he's found the first kill, and this is the raw aim that you talked about, but it's kind of predictable because you can see all 4 members from the side of Team Villainous are here on towards this B side. The smoke is out. The breach applying a lot of pressure towards Skills, down to 14 HP. Just try and stay alive, but NXS comes in from the flank, from the mid-air, is able to get the kill, and now Kappa trying to pull it back, pulls out his aftershock, but just like that, Quake is there to find the kill. NXS finding a 4th one, and it's almost as if you're a prophet, SMX, क्योंकि हमने बोला था they're really good in the first 2 rounds, but after that they just seem to fall off.
Exactly,
Hellranger. Yeah.
So now there is not much Hellranger can do, but he'll still try to, get the pistol round.
I mean, best case scenario, like you get a few kills, like maybe you're able to defuse the bomb, lekin nahi, it's gonna be too much of a ask, and Vision is gonna be able to find the kill. But yeah, I think ये चीज हमने I think दूसरे कैप्टन से भी देखी है. एक हेल रेंजर है, I think एक नोबल स्पोर्ट्स के साय है, अगर आप फॉलो कर रहे थे गेम टूर्नामेंट एज वेल, अगर आप देख रहे थे तो साय ने आई थिंक ओवर टाइम में नोबल स्पोर्ट्स में उन्होंने आई थिंक 2 राउंड्स कंसेक्यूटिवली एस और 4K लिया था, एंड दैट वाज समथिंग माइंड ब्लोइंग. मतलब लाइक द एबिलिटी ऑफ अ पर्सन लाइक साय जो कैप्टन कर रहे हैं, जो कॉल्स दे रहे टीम को, वो ऐसे सिचुएशन में आके एम भी कर सकता है. आई थिंक वैसा कैप्टन होना बहुत जरूरी है, और टीम के लिए भी काफी कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट करता है. क्या लगता है आपको, मतलब अगर
Sai is he's a very talented player, to be honest, because first of all he is able to lead the team and concentrate at his aim at the same time. You know, that is something which like normally many players can't do, and he is able to do that. So because of that, he was able to get those kills as well consecutively, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Speaking of kills, Kappa is also finding some, and for now, continue SMX, please.
So now again, like we can see right now, there is a bit of lack of communication in Team Villainous, even though they are trying hard for that. So now they should have some crossfire setup, you know, in order for them to not get picked off in a 3v3 situation like this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's almost sad because जैसे ही आपने वो कहा, Goreng just by himself goes with the smoke and gets a 3K.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, it's like you said, you know, ये team individually बहुत skilled है. I think individually वो लोग अपने आप में बहुत अच्छा खेलते हैं, लेकिन coming together एक दूसरे के साथ खेला is something जो उनको practice करना पड़ेगा.
And मेरे को तो ऐसा लगता है कि Valorant is such a game where you know individual skills won't be able to just you know win you the rounds. By the end of the day आपको teamwork भी थोड़ा सा better करना रहेगा with your combined with your individual skills. तो ही round आप secure कर पाओगे, क्योंकि अभी अगर सामने वाले की अगर teamwork ज़्यादा अच्छी है तो वो लोग आपको अच्छे you know setups वगैरह कर करके beat कर सकते हैं individual.
I see. तो I think आप ये कहना चाह रहे हो कि इस गेम में अगर individual skill भले ही इक्वल क्यों ना हो, अगर टीम स्किल किसी टीम का ज्यादा है तो वो टीम जीतेगी. That's more likely कि वो टीम जीते.
They are more likely to win, yeah, basically.
और वाइस वर्सा ट्रू नहीं है कि अगर आपका टीम स्किल कम हो लेकिन इंडिविजुअल स्किल हाई हो तो आप ये गेम में सक्सेसफुल हो सकते हो. टीम स्किल रियली मेक और ब्रेक करता है चीजों को. Is what you're trying to say. And well, I mean, you're completely right, because look at the side of global esports. जैसे ही उनके हाथ में Payout आता है, you know, just like that, SK Rossi enters, finds a few kills. Vision, he's all by himself. He's finding multiple kills, but I mean, he's just one man. He can't do a lot against 5 people.
Exactly, yeah.
And Team Villainous, well, this is gonna be do or die for them. This is match point. Global esports, they just need to put this one in the bag, and they can go home happy.
What I feel like they should have just taken a timeout or something, because I don't see any timeout coming in by Team Villainous as well. They should just talk a bit more with each other and decide on things, you know, in the timeout. If they could take one, but उन्होंने एक timeout भी नहीं लिया, and they are just losing right now. They
Absolutely.
could have done a lot better, I feel, because individually I think they are very skilled players in Team Villainous, you know.
Yeah, I agree, and I mean, जैसे कि आपने कहा, they're not really taking timeouts, and when you don't take timeouts against a team like Global Esports, और आप ऐसे सोचते हो कि नहीं हम raw aim पे, raw individual skill पे उनको beat करेंगे, it doesn't always come through. I mean, exactly. Yes, like sometimes Cruiser God clutch करेंगे, yeah, sometimes Goreng is going to be the one to clutch, लेकिन it's not gonna happen all the time. I mean, in this round as well, look at Global Esports. The way they're playing is absolutely fantastic, but as soon as I say that, Quake is able to find the kill, and okay, 1v1, Quake, can you make this work? Both have similar HP to work with. 40 on the breach, slightly lesser on the raise. And Kappa, he's made his way towards the site. He has his eyes on the spike, but I don't think he's expecting Quick. No, but he is, because Kappa is quick to find the kill. And just like that, Global Esports take this game. They win the semi-final matchup against Team Villainous, make it towards their way to the grand finals. And SMX, I have to ask you, अगर आपको कोई MVP pick करना होता ये game में, ये best of 3 series में, तो आपके लिए कौन है वो MVP?
I would totally go for SK Rossi, because initially in the starting of the game he got such crucial picks, you know, which were in GE's favor, and after that later on also he got lot of kills. So I would just say SK Rossi is, you know, the MVP for this map right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I have to agree with you there because personally as well, my MVP was SK Rossi with the operator and whatnot. This man has just been extremely consistent all the time. And well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the first semi-final underway. But don't go anywhere because we're going to have the second one coming soon between FaR Esports and the RAD Syndicate. But before we get there, we're going to take a small break. So go get yourself something to eat. Go get yourself some water. SMX, thank you for joining with us. And I wish you the very best of luck for your matches. And we're going to be throwing to a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon.
Thank you, guys.
At Master, just trying to hold on to screens as he gets smoked off. ZPDF is there at the back of side to get that kill with the Ghost. And bit by bit, Sai is trying to find openings elsewhere. Master has done his bit, he's taken down Hush. Numbers not looking so good for the defense, but Master with the Ghost looking sublime as he fights first. Where the hell is Sai? Too far on the lurk.
Find a lot of information, and the rolling thunder is going to come through, but it doesn't connect onto anyone. Rexy ends up wasting his ultimate. Batman drops down, gets all the kills by himself. The push that's going to come in from the enemy sniper coming in from Batman. Look at Tito though.
Wondering if they can start swinging towards A. If they can't swing towards A, this is what happens. Tito gets punished. Batman peeks with the Vandal, manages to bring down not just Tito, he's got Hush as well. You got the Omen keeping in, but Starboy just being calm, composed, deals with the immediate threat, isolates the duel. It's close, it's going to be really touch and go. It's going to boil down to that first pistol. Sai though is not ready, he's not going to wait, not going to bother about that first pistol. He's going to kill right now as he's picked up 3, he's got the knives out, he wants to hunt for more.
Opening things up, and this round, well, it's just going to be about how much money you can build up. Paradox building up a fair amount of it, finds 3 kills, might find the 4th one, the breach comes in, with the Shorty. Hastened out, gets his hands on an SMG, but the trade is going to come real quick from Hush. Master gets the bazooka off the fire them. He's gonna get the kill onto Lexi, but the return fire in the hole coming in from Hush with that bazooka. That grenade also gonna be tossed down. The bazooka coming in from Hush, trying to find someone, but I don't think he's gonna end up. Oh, he gets 2 kills! And just like that, RAD Syndicate, this map is done and dusted.
Absolutely.
Master, how well can you go? You can move very, very well. 2 quick kills. What Noble Esports will be up to as Master shuts down the fish, goes back and finds the Omen just a lot. And look at Starboy comes back in. Rexy pulling it back with 2 collateral.
And Paradox is just waiting towards B window, waiting patiently for Tito. Tito sees the angle, but Paradox, he's fast.
Have come in from Noble Esports, so maybe this push won't go their way, but Master has something to say about that. Is able to find the first kill. Hush quick to trade him out. Can he find the second one? Yes, he can. They in fact even pick up Batman. That's what happens. You don't keep up with the kill feed, but RAD Syndicate first 5 round is down to a 1v1. Not a situation you want, but look at this. The Jet actually taking the sound of the... Oh no, the Jet's holding it. No, he's not. He sees his hand. Really patient here, Hush, and his patience is rewarded as he finds 2 kills for 1. Master caught between a rock and a hard place, and he's not going to be able to get the kill.
That requires to deal with. He's managing to try and get past them, and he's just holding down the spray. The ability to react and adjust, and that's really making the difference for RAD Syndicate. Now it's ZPDF, who's got himself a Spectre. He'll take up these kills. Batman will chime in with 1. He manages to pick off Sai. The spike does get planted. 4 members are not put bit by bit trying to take control of the side, but there's still Starboy anchoring on from back of side, getting that kill needed on the Higa. He's going to follow it up with another 2v1 on the Tito.
I can get the neural set up and running, because if that gets up and running, that big of a loss, but it's still a man advantage in the favor of RAD Syndicate. Can they do more here? Though ZPDF is able to find a second pick onto Hush, and looks like this push is quickly going to scrap on Noble Esports as RAD Syndicate are able to shut it down rather swiftly. Master comes in.
3 members of Noble Esports, have they got enough? Make that 2. Hush has been deleted. Rexy dead. Higa to follow.
Batman with the collateral. Holy crap. I mean, we were talking about how Sai pulled through, but Batman in that last round as their IGL managed to pull it back in the favor of RAD Syndicate. And ladies and gentlemen, what a BO3. We couldn't have asked for a better ending.
reposition himself, and SMX is going to end up falling. Goro with the Vandal finds the kills, but Scargod and Knight Rider are there for those kills, for those strays, as Knight Rider finds two crucial kills with the knives. It's NXS all by himself with that Sheriff. He's going to tap the spike, but I don't think he's going to be able to do this. He needs the headshot. He gets the headshot. So it's not going to be easy to take control of Lambs. Dodge has tossed the flash. There is a smoke coming in from the Brimstone on the spike. Somebody needs to tap it. Somebody needs time to tap it. But NXS is just finding kill after kill after kill. And now it's one man for the defense, SMX. And look at how far he's been pushed off. The operator paying dividends, Floki.
This round could just be shut down very quickly for Team Villainous. As you've seen, all the rounds they've lost and from Bangalore Rolling Thunder. For now, the flash is coming in from the Jet. Is going to get blinded, but not before finding the pick. Quick to find the trade. Quick to find a man advantage to get spawned. No! Quick single-handedly locking down the site. Down to a 3v1 FaR Esports. They are going to be caught with their pants down. And the side of FaR Esports are going to find some control towards A. They're just not going in yet. So the three people are still together and Quake is cleaning them up. Most certainly going to be 4-7. In fact, look at NSX, he's gotten the other corner. Spam is not going to come through and he's going to be greeted from the back as NXS find 3 kills. Single-handedly shutting down this mid-control coming in from FaR Esports. And NXS, this round is done. It's dusted.
He's aggressive with the breach. Is it good enough for FaR? Knight Rider now with the op will sing, and SMX with the Phantom will manage to pick up 2 crucial kills. I don't know what kind of buy is going to be coming out from Villainous. I don't even know if Quick can clutch it. No, he can't. The Rolling Thunder. So they'll start with the run it back. Scargod will deal with it. Knight Rider actually finds a kill elsewhere onto the enemy Jet. That's huge. So one ultimate down dodge finds a kill. No opportunity for the neutral left. Shivy, the first point of contact towards B-Main, finds 2 crucial kills with the Phantom. And there's Knight Rider with the op. The defense has done it. They've shut them down.
From the side of Team Villainous, but can they find kills? That's the question. Whitehorse shutting the pulls down, gets the first kill onto NXS. The bazooka goes off from Scargod. Does do a fair amount of damage, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. The grenade is going to find the kill. It's going to find 2, in fact. Food the God also ends up going down. And this match is most certainly done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going to game number 3 as FaR Esports take game number 2 on split.
Smoke has come out to his defender spawn. Quake has been smoked off. He doesn't have the recon bolt for information, so he's got to spray wildly based on whatever sound cues he gets. The paranoia there, and Quake with the spray finds 2 crucial kills. Progress. Reposition himself, and SMX is going to end up falling. Goro with the Vandal finds the kills, but Scargod and Knight Rider are there for those kills, for those strays, as Knight Rider finds 2 crucial kills with the knives. It's NXS all by himself with that Sheriff. He's going to tap the spike, but I don't think he's going to be able to do this. He needs the headshot. He gets the headshot. So it's not going to be easy to take control of Lambs. Dodge has tossed the flash. There is a smoke coming in from the Brimstone on the spike. Somebody needs to tap it. Somebody needs time to tap it. But NXS is just finding kill after kill after kill, and now it's one man for the defense, SMX, and look at how far he's been pushed off. The operator paying dividends, Floki.
This round could just be shut down very quickly for Team Villainous. As you've seen, all the rounds they've lost and from Bangalore Rolling Thunder. For now, the flash is coming in from the Jet. Is going to get blinded, but not before finding the pick. Quick to find the trade. Quick to find a man advantage to get spawned. No! Quick single-handedly locking down the site. Down to a 3v1 FaR Esports. They are going to be caught with their pants down. And the side of FaR Esports are going to find some control towards A. They're just not going in yet. So the 3 people are still together and Quake is cleaning them up. Most certainly going to be 4-7. In fact, look at NSX, he's gotten the other corner. Spam is not going to come through and he's going to be greeted from the back as NXS find 3 kills. Single-handedly shutting down this mid-control coming in from FaR Esports. And NXS, this round is done. It's dusted.
He's aggressive with the breach. Is it good enough for FaR? Knight Rider now with the op will sing, and SMX with the Phantom will manage to pick up 2 crucial kills. I don't know what kind of buy is going to be coming out from Villainous. I don't even know if Quick can clutch it. No, he can't. The Rolling Thunder. So they'll start with the run it back. Scargod will deal with it. Knight Rider actually finds a kill elsewhere onto the enemy Jet. That's huge. So one ultimate down dodge finds a kill. No opportunity for the neutral left. Shivy, the first point of contact towards B-Main, finds 2 crucial kills with the Phantom. And there's Knight Rider with the op. The defense has done it. They've shut them down.
From the side of Team Villainous, but can they find kills? That's the question. Whitehorse shutting the pulls down, gets the first kill onto NXS. The bazooka goes off from Scargod. Does do a fair amount of damage, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. The grenade is going to find the kill. It's going to find 2, in fact. Food the God also ends up going down. And this match is most certainly done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going to game number 3 as FaR Esports take game number 2 on split.
Smoke has come out towards defender spawn. Quake has been smoked off. He doesn't have the recon bolt for information, so he's got to spray wildly based on whatever sound cues he gets. The paranoia there, and Quake with the spray finds 2 crucial kills. Progress towards the side. Shivy is the one though with the spike, and Quake will not let Night Rider pass. It's now a 2v3 for the offense, and it's slowly chipping down to just one man on the server. Stargod, he made progress towards the side. He will manage to pick up the spike, but look at the
10
clock. 10
seconds
seconds
left.
on the clock. He wants to just get the spike planted. Will he be allowed to? Paranoia, blinding him. No sound cues to work with. He's got his flame blindly and get 1 kill. Follow it up with the second. The Phantom has done wonders for him, but INXS is his undoing. He finds the kill towards B main. It's SMX, Night Rider plus Stargod. Night Rider does work with the knife, does manage to find one. It's SMX and Stargod that have got to pull this back. It's just one man on the server, the Villainous. He's done so much with the Sheriff in the past. Can NXS pull it off? NXS under heaven, knives in hand, has nowhere to go. And Villainous will lose the series 1-2, Floki.
I have to commend them, even though they lost. It's a great showing by them to be able to show up last minute and give this level of performance, which we haven't even seen by some of the other teams in this tournament. It's really something, and it's something commendable.
At Master, just trying to hold on to screens as he gets smoked off. ZBDF is there at the back of side to get that kill with the Ghost. And bit by bit, Sai is trying to find openings elsewhere. Master has done his bit, he's taken down Hush. Numbers not looking so good for the defense, but Master with the Ghost looking sublime as he spikes first. Where the hell is Sai? Too far on the lurk.
Find a lot of information, and the rolling thunder is going to come through, but it doesn't connect onto anyone. Rexy ends up wasting his ultimate. Batman drops down, gets all the kills by himself. The push that's going to come in from the enemy sniper coming in from Batman. Look at Tito though.
Wondering if they can start swinging towards A. If they can't swing towards A, this is what happens. Tito gets punished. Batman peeks with the Vandal, manages to bring down not just Tito, he's got Hush as well. You got the Omen keeping in, but Starboy just being calm, composed, deals with the immediate threat, isolates the duel. It's close. It's going to be really touch and go. It's going to boil down to that first pistol. Sai, though, is not ready. He's not going to wait. Not going to bother about that first pistol. He's going to kill right now as he's picked up 3. He's got the knives out. He wants to hunt for more.
Opening things up, and this round, well, it's just going to be about how much money you can build up. Baldock building up a fair amount of it, finds 3 kills. He might find the 4th one. The breach comes in, goes in the surely. Instant down, gets his hands on an Ascent. But the trade is going to come real quick from Hush. Master gets the bazooka off the fire them. He's gonna get the kill onto Lexi, but the return fire in the hole coming in from Hush with that bazooka. That grenade also gonna be tossed down. The bazooka coming in from Hush, trying to find someone, but I don't think he's gonna end up. Oh, he gets 2 kills! And just like that, RAD Syndicate, this map is done and dusted.
Absolutely.
Master, how well can you go? You can move very well. 2 quick kills. What Noble Esports would be up to as Master shuts down the fish, goes back and finds the Omen. Just a lot. Then look at Starboy comes back in. Rexy pulling it back with 2 collapses.
And Paradox is just waiting towards B window, waiting patiently for Tito. Tito sees the angle, but Paradox, he's fast.
Have come in from Noble Esports. So maybe this push won't go their way, but Master has something to say about that. Is able to find the first kill. Hush, quick to trade him out. Can he find the second one? Yes, he can. They in fact even pick up Batman. That's what happens. You don't keep up with the kill feed, but RAD Syndicate first 5 round. It's down to a 1v1. Not a situation you want, but look at this. The Jet actually taking the sound of the... Oh no, the Jet's holding it. No, he's not. He sees his hand. Really patient here, Hush, and his patience is rewarded as he finds 2 kills for 1. Master caught between a rock and a hard place, and he's not going to be able to get the kill.
That requires to deal with. He's managing to try and get past them, and he's just holding down the spray. The ability to react and adjust, and that's really making the difference for RAD Syndicate. Now it's ZBDF, who's got himself a Spectre. He'll take up these kills. Batman will chime in with 1. He manages to pick off Sai. The spike does get planted. 4 members are nobly put bit by bit trying to take control of the side, but there's still Starboy anchoring on from back of side, getting that kill needed on the Hika. He's going to follow it up with another 3v1 on the Tito.
I can get the neural set up and running, because if that gets up and running, that big of a loss, but it's still a man advantage in the favor of RAD Syndicate. Can they do more here though? ZPDF is able to find the second pick onto Hush, and looks like this push is quickly going to scrap for Noble Esports as RAD Syndicate are able to shut it down rather swiftly. Master comes in.
3 members of Noble Esports, have they got enough? Make that 2. Hush has been deleted. Rexy dead. Hika to follow.
Batman with the collateral. Holy crap. I mean, we were talking about how Sai pulled through, but Batman in that last round as their IGL managed to pull it back in the favor of RAD Syndicate. And ladies and gentlemen, what a BO3. We couldn't have asked for a better ending.
Reposition himself, and SMX, he's going to end up falling. Goro with the Vandal finds the kills, but Skargod and Nightrider are there for those kills, for those strays, as Nightrider finds 2 crucial kills with the knives. It's NXS all by himself with that Sheriff. He's going to tap the spike, but I don't think he's going to be able to do this. He needs the headshot. He gets the headshot. So it's not going to be easy to take control of Lambs. Dodge has tossed the flash. There is a smoke coming in from the Brimstone on the spike. Somebody needs to tap it. Somebody needs time to tap it. But NXS is just finding kill after kill after kill, and now with 1 man for the defense, SMX, and look at how far he's been pushed off. The operator paying dividends, Floki, as
This round could just be shut down very quickly for Team Villainous. As you've seen, all the rounds they've lost have come back with that Rolling Thunder. For now, the flash is coming in from the Jet. Is going to get blinded, but not before finding the pick. Quick to find the trade. Quick to find a man advantage to get spawned. No! Quick single-handedly locking down the site. Down to a 3v1 FaR Esports. They are going to be caught with their pants down. And the side of FaR Esports are going to find some control towards A. They're just not going in yet, so the 3 people are still together and Quake is cleaning them up. Most certainly going to be forced. In fact, look at NSX, he's gotten the other corner. Spam is not going to come through, and he's going to be greeted from the back as NX has find 3 kills, single-handedly shutting down this mid-control coming in from FaR Esports. And NXS, this round is done, it's dusted.
he's aggressive with the breach. Is it good enough for FaR? Nightrider now with the op will sing, and SMX with the Phantom will manage to pick up 2 crucial kills. I don't know what kind of pie is going to be coming out from Villainous. I don't even know if Quake can clutch it. No, he can't. The Rolling Thunder. So they'll start with the run it back. Skargod will deal with it. Nightrider actually finds a kill elsewhere onto the enemy Jet. That's huge. So 1 ultimate down. Dodge finds a kill. No opportunity for the neural theft. Shivy, the first point of contact towards B-Main, finds 2 crucial kills with the Phantom. And there's Nightrider with the op. The defense has done it. They've shut them down.
From the side of Team Villainous, but can they find kills? That's the question. Whitehorse shutting the push down, gets the first kill onto NXS. The bazooka goes off from Skargod. Does do a fair amount of damage, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. The grenade is going to find the kill. It's going to find 2, in fact. Food the God also ends up going down. And this match is most certainly done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going to game number 3 as FaR Esports take game number 2 on split.
Smoke has come out to a defender spawn. Quake has been smoked off. He doesn't have the recon bolt for information, so he's got to spray wildly based on whatever sound cues he gets. The paranoia there, and Quake with the spray finds 2 crucial kills. Progress towards the side. Shivy is the one though with the spike, and Quake will not let Nightrider pass. It's now a 2v3 for the offense, and it's slowly. Second. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the One Play Esports Valorant India Invitational. My name is Vivek. Joining me is going to be Floki as well as Hellranger. Hellranger, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Vivek?
Okay.
Vivek?
I can't seem to hear Hellranger or Floki, so this is really interesting.
Yeah, okay, so we can hear you. That's unfortunate, Vivek. It's going to be one-sided communication, much like my past relationships. But past relationships aside, Hellranger, that was a beautiful showing in the last game against Team Villainous. You know, you really hammered everything in on split, just not giving them any rounds on offense like that. What do you have to say about Team Villainous? What do you think of them? What do you think they're lacking, sort of, that a good team lacks?
No, so after playing in the Indian scene, playing tier 2 teams, I would say, for a long time right now, playing all the events and all the qualifiers, I've come to a conclusion that when you don't give the lower team space, right, that is when they crumble. So That is why
Yep.
our main goal was to not give them space, and
Hmm.
that's what we were focused on basically. So we were not giving like any lower team. We are not going to give space. So they have to earn our respect first, and that is the time when we start showing respect. But till that time, that's the focus. Just keep pressurizing them, and that breaks them. Otherwise, I've seen their games.
Hmm.
They're a good team, but if we don't give them space, then it's different.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Can you?
Helrinja, I think I have a question for you and Floki. Yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
Floki nice and clearly. Helrinja, how deep is your stat book? Is it deeper than what you've shown so far?
In Valorant, it can go like I might have to buy multiple books, but I have not at this moment. I mean, at this moment, because you can do so much in this game, right? With and even with
Yeah,
new maps and new agents coming in, you can
yeah.
change a lot of things. But right now, at the moment, we haven't started practicing. We were still looking for our fifth, getting things sorted. So
Mm-hmm.
right now, the stat book is not that deep. Right now, it's just everything that comes into my head. I call in the game, and luckily, I have good enough players, who execute everything I say to them on the spot. So that's something nice. And right now, we are just playing on defaults and basics and trying to swing the game according to what we have, what ultis we have. But the strat book will come into play soon, maybe in a month or two when we start. Like we're going to start practice from next week, and so hope to show you guys a lot more than what you're seeing right now.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And do you feel that as an IGL, Bhavin, it's easier for you to call? I mean, I know you're the IGL. Do you feel it's easier for you to call when you're playing a controller? Or do you think you could be a sentinel in this game and call? Do you think you could be Sova in this game and call for your team? Or is it because you're
Uh,
thoda aggressive?
No, so that's a very nice question actually. I had tried calling, playing a Sentinel. I was playing Cypher when the game came out actually, along with Hellfighter obviously. So I tried playing Cypher and calling, but it's difficult. Because as a Cypher, you sometimes have to take up the lurk role and in the information gathering role. So when you're doing that, right, your entire focus has to be on that side of the map. You cannot, lose your focus or your patience, because if you do that, like if I'm the central, if I'm gathering information at other parts, I might miss out on information from my teammates or might miss out on a mid round call to make. So that is why I think it's a bit difficult to become a cipher and call. You can still do that. I feel if we start switching to the breach meta where you can use cipher as a pack, like basically a role in the pack, it can be done after that. But for now, I think it's easier for me to use a controller and call, because the controller is always going to stay with the pack, and to make any mid-round decision, it's much easier for me, and also to help out my teammates with smokes and flashes with the omen. Basically, it's much easier because I can foresee what we are going to do and position myself accordingly with my flash or the smokes and help them get in part into the side. So I think all in all, being a controller, it's much easier to be an IGL of the team.
I
Mm-hmm.
see. So you like to take on some of that more supportive role we've seen in the past in some of your games, where you're just going to be there for your team with the smokes and flashes, and you're going to be the first guy in if that's what your team needs you to do. Do you think this approach is better? Like instead of just having, say, everyone do things on the fly, just have designated roles for everyone. For example, like you mentioned, how Cypher's always bringing out information. Or do you think being fluid in this game is more important than having set and stole roles?
It's a mix and match of both, right? You need to have set roles to start off with. You need to have that as a base, right? Because if you
Hmm.
don't
Mm-hmm.
have that, then there'll be too much chaos, right? And once you are used to playing with each other, you're used to the things you do, then you can switch it up, right? You can have different characters to different things to become unpredictable. That is when the unpredictable factor comes in. But if you at the start, if you're yourself not clear with what you are supposed to do, then it'll be very
Hmm.
hard for your teammates or for me as an IGL to give calls. So I think when we are starting off right now, it's very important to have not fixed roles per se, but fixed play styles basically. So skills and Rossi being the duelist, they have the freedom to go aggressive to a certain extent and take those
Is
fights.
that
And
is
me
that
and Kappa,
confirmed? Is that confirmed?
yeah,
Skills and
yeah,
Rossi are
that's
your
confirmed.
duelists?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We tinkered around a bit because we lost our cipher player, and in the short run for the events we didn't have much to go off of. So Skills tried his hand at cipher, but in the end we decided that he's a much better player when he plays duelist. He can bring a lot more to the team. So we
Mm-hmm.
are sticking with skills and SK Rossi as our duelist, and Lightning Fast is gonna come in and play the Cypher role for us for the next 2 months at least, and we'll see after that how it goes. And we want to give him a fair shot, so we have decided we are going to play with him for the next couple of months and let him let him build into a good Cypher or a good Sentinel. Doesn't have to be a Cypher, but yeah. So that's what we
Yep.
have decided for now, and that's what we are working towards basically.
Yep. I think those are some very interesting points. We've got a couple of people in chat that are asking me for a Makalu Tiki. I'm just going to have some chai right now. That is not Kada. Please do not confuse that with Kada. It is a little muddy. But when I do meet you all in person, there will be a lot more Makalu Tikis to give away. But speaking of Makalu Tikis, Hellranger, I remember this time when I've casted you in another tactical shooter. For me, you're the MS Dhoni of our scene in tactical shooters. At least that's what I kept calling you in all my games. I've seen you fight so hard for your team, for your games. I've never seen anyone fight so much. I think you also matured a lot. You played with so many coaches. I mean, not so many. I at least two coaches,
And
right? We played with.
most in the Indian scene, three. I played with three.
Yeah, you played
I
with
played with
three, so you
Prashant.
picked up.
I played with
Yeah,
Prashant. I played with
Prashant.
Solo and David.
David, I think you have a little bit of all of them in your play style. I don't know who you look after the most. I remember that from what I know, when your team was being formed with David, you guys were just practicing fundamentals really of punishing other teams' mistakes. I think that's what the focus was on. That's how Global Esports at that time in that game played their T side, at least from what I remember, played offense. But now there's a little bit of everything in this game because this game demands a little bit of everything. Are you enjoying the challenge that this game is?
To be honest, I think I'm a much better player in Valorant than I was in the other game for two reasons. First, in this, most of the Indian and the Asian scene in Counter Strike was, pressing or playing on aim, or most of them, just used to press W even in the Indian scene. They can't do that against us in Valorant. We have so many abilities as a team. I mean, and even as individual players, you have so many abilities, you have so many skills that you can't be a brain dead player and just press W and get the victory, which was possible in Counter Strike. So this is a much better game for me because I like to think about the game and play, right? And even my mechanics I feel are better in this game, partly due to me switching to a higher sensitivity and grinding the game
Do you
hard.
think the
But
mechanics are easier as far as aiming is concerned? Do you
uh,
think the mechanics are easier?
see, the funny
Pure aim.
part is pure aim. I like it's easier, but I think the hitboxes are better in a sense than
Mm-hmm,
CS. Right? I think
mm-hmm.
that, and also for me it's better because in CS I was a very low sensitivity player, and then I switched to a bit higher sensitivity in this. So I feel it much easier. Like I don't know if it's the hitboxes or it's me changing my sensitivity, but regardless of that, I feel it's much better. The shooting is much more easier or
What was
precise to say.
this is so weird because in CS I used to be a high sensitivity player and in Valorant I've actually switched twice. So I just want to ask you, what was your CS sensitivity and DPI, and what's your sensitivity and DPI now in this game?
So for CS, I had a 2.25 sensitivity and 400 DPI. And if I used a Valorant converter or CS to Valorant converter thingy, it was like it made me do it at point 0.6 or something like that in Valorant. It made me switch to that. But I went up higher and I played a 0.911 sensitivity. So that is 1.5 times of what I used to play in CS basically. And I feel it's much better because I feel it's much more fluid basically. So the reason I did that was I even put up a guide on that basically. So when you move your mouse, I feel like if you can do a 180 with your mouse, right? There are different types of players. Some people only move their wrist, some people move their entire hand, right? So when I was moving my mouse, I'm a wrist player. I don't move my hand while I'm playing. So
Mm-hmm.
my wrist, if I move to the left, it should turn the mouse should turn 180, and if I move it to the right, it should turn 180, because in any duel you might have to turn 180 when the opponents are behind
Yeah,
you, and never more than that.
yeah,
You have the option of going left or right? So I think that is
yeah.
your perfect sensei in a sense. And with regards to spray control and all of that, you have to just practice that. So that is how I came to a conclusion of my sensei, and I have found it
Yeah.
really helpful. So I think maybe you can
Yeah.
also try that.
I think you're very right, because when I started this game, I dropped my sensitivity. I don't know. I messed around in Kovacs, Aim Lab, whatever you want to call it. I dropped my sensitivity, and now I've been playing more in Act 3 and in Act 2 as I've started picking up. My sensitivity has actually gone up. At the beginning of the game, my sensitivity dropped, and I think your guide is definitely useful, and we should check it out. Where can we find your guide? Chat, whoever's tuning in, where can we
Yeah,
find Hellranger's guide?
you guys can go to my YouTube channel, Official Hellranger, and you have the guide there. I stream daily, so you can follow me there as well. And I'm going to be actually I'm just putting it out there. Sorry for the self promotion, but I'm going to be putting a lot of basics guide, right? So I've put one basic guide right now. I'm going to be releasing more in the next coming weeks, right? So this will help anyone trying to learn Valorant at the basic level or trying to grind their ranks, basically. So anyone from
Mm-hmm.
the iron rank to the diamond rank will find these guides useful, and I'm sure you'll go up a few ranks because of watching them. So uh, that is something I plan
But
to do. I want to share all the knowledge I have as a player,
uh,
and from
uh,
the lower level guide to the professional guide, I'm trying to make everything. So if anyone wants to check that out, you
Uh,
can just
I'll I'll ask you a question, Bhavin. I
yeah,
calibrated at Diamond 2 in Act 1. In Diamond,
yeah,
I'm now in Act 3. I dropped to Silver. I
yeah.
then climbed to Gold 2. Is it because of friends like Floki, or is there something wrong with me? What would your guide say?
It's either see, there are two possibilities to this. Either you got carried in the first act, or
Uh huh.
you have really shitty teammates in the second act. It's one of the two. But regardless of
Okay.
what it is, all of you guys should watch my guide.
Absolutely. I think
So
I think Vivek will find the most utility out of that guide. He'll stop
Be-
playing with me. He'll stop playing with me. He'll drop a few ranks, and then he'll start watching your guys and reach back to
I
Diamond 2.
I
And he'll be
I
like,
s-
I dropped Floki. That was the reason I'm not winning. So he won't give credit where credit's due.
I solo queued and I climbed. Now my new excuse in life is it the Mumbai server or is it the Singapore server? So that's my new excuse.
I
But
see, playing Mumbai 7 on a silver rank is like stabbing yourself in the eye and trying to walk on the road. It's that bad. People like it's too hard. I get fed
Yeah.
up
yeah.
playing immortal rank in Mumbai servers. So I mean,
Yeah, they're so territorial. Like I don't know.
yeah,
I played a Spike Rush game. I don't know, for some reason everybody's comms was muted, but this one guy was talking, so I might have muted him before only. I don't remember. So someone just
yeah.
said, "I've come from the Singapore server." Why have you come to the Mumbai server? Go play in Singapore. Why have you come? Why have you come? What are you doing here? Go away. Go away. ऐसा मतलब सीधा गाली दिया रे उसका. I don't even understand, like, what is this? अरे, Mumbai server, Singapore server, what does it matter, man? Let him play. Personally, I started on Singapore Hellranger. And in
Yeah.
Singapore, like, there was this registry use is different on Singapore. Now I can feel it. Like, I can really feel it, that registry on Singapore is very, very different. On the Mumbai server, registry is much better. Like, there's something about it.
Yeah, of course, because it's the ping difference, right? So, when I'm playing matchmaking, I just play it on Singapore servers. I untick the Mumbai servers because I feel it's pointless. I've played 2 games there, and like anyone can become a Radiant in Mumbai server. So, I was
इतना
just
आसान.
grinding on. Matlab, because the level of competition there is, I don't want to say bad. Like apart from the top players who play, I think we need more players coming in and playing in the Mumbai servers rather than just Indians. I think uh, I'm not saying that it's the same mentality. I feel, right. People who used to play CS, they also come here, just press W, don't use the abilities, and that is why I never get frustrated in matches. But in pugs, it comes to a point when I get tilted sometimes. So that is why I'm like, okay, let's get tilted in Singapore. That is much better. At least people use their abilities there while playing the game, right? So um,
Mm.
I just play Singapore server. Like uh, and to come to your point, but all the day, right? We're playing our matches in Mumbai server, right? So you hit those insane shots, one taps with the Vandal and all other, and you switch to the Singapore server. First 2 games, you can't hit jack shit, and that is not just a registry. That is because of the ping difference, basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah, I think we're seeing that, right? I mean, like, one of the teams that dropped, I mean, like, couldn't continue in this tournament, actually, not dropped. Noble Esports. They're actually getting that one player from Sri Lanka into India, because they're saying ping difference really affects them. So Noble Esports is
Yeah,
actually getting Hika into India from Sri Lanka. And I don't know. We got the first track qualifiers coming up. I believe in the first track qualifiers we come under one region. I don't know what Riot's plan is going to
yeah.
be for Southeast Asia and South Asia. If you have any info, you can share. But I don't know
From
for us what it's going to be.
Yeah, from what I have read till now, there's no qualifier for the South Asia region in the Southeast Asia qualifier, basically. So
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to announce it as a separate region, maybe, because there's no slot for Indian teams per se. From what I was reading in the qualifiers, the teams mentioned did not have India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, or Bangladesh. Right? I'm not sure about Pakistan, but India, Sri Lanka, and Bangladesh were not mentioned in any of the qualifiers list. So I think they are going to bring out a different qualifier maybe, or they might not have a qualifier for this region for the first event, but hopefully they announce it soon, whatever be the case, because as of now we are ourselves waiting for them to announce some qualifiers, and we haven't heard anything yet. So hopefully they announce South Asia as a region and have qualifiers there as well.
Hmm.
I see.
Mm. So will
So
South Asia be a region? Ha.
And
yeah,
South
that's
Asia is
kind of
basically just India. Yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of wanted to
ए,
ask
ऐसा
you, like
ऐसा नहीं
you.
बोलते ऐसा नहीं
in,
बोलते
in
एक
the
मिनट
team, I mean,
is
Indian teams,
Bangladesh and
it's
Pakistan
dominant.
active?
No, I am saying is no. See, Pakistan generally doesn't fall in like in CS it used to, but I don't think in Valorant they're putting it into the South Asian region. And
Okay.
okay,
Okay.
so yeah, but I
Okay,
think
so I,
apart from
I,
that,
I
see,
really want to find out more about Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. We just have Hika representing those regions. We've got our first map ready, Floki. We're going to be jumping into Split soon enough. That's going to be our first map of the day. We can take you through the map. Bhavin, are you going to hang around or are you done? देखना एक map देखता है ना
हाँ चलो एक
Oh
मैप देख
my
लेते हैं अभी मैं,
god.
you know, I'll have some fun watching the games. Let's go.
come let's chill. If you want, you can pause, go get yourself some water and come back in 5 minutes. We'll be here. We can jump into our
If you
first map whenever the players are ready. You can
if you know
we'll
anything
be it for
about
you,
me, you
Bhavin.
know that if you know
You
anything
don't
about
chill.
me from all the
You
events
don't
you
chill.
casted, I always have my water bottle with me, so I don't need to go
Okay.
around for that.
ठीक है तो ready
But
है. We are ready. Let's
ha-
watch our map. FaR Esports versus RAD Syndicate. This is our second best of 3. We've got the veto coming up soon enough, and we'll look at it and we'll be jumping into our maps. Floki, I know the
Yep.
first map is Split. The second map
Yep.
is going to
It's
be Heaven. The third map is Bind. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Split is one of my favorite maps, and you were mentioning earlier how Viper is something that you can run as a pocket strat on Split, with that wall line, with the smoke lineup, the wall of smoke lineup. I'm not exactly sure what the right terminology for that is because it's such a weird interaction. But you can basically set up a wall of that cover that basically gives you cover of sorts onto that
The
rafters
talk
area.
screen. The talk screen.
The talk screen. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, the talk screen. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that Vivek was talking about, and I want your opinion on this, Hell Ranger. What do you think of the
It's an old
possibility
strat. It's an old
of
strat,
a?
Floki. नहीं होने वाला है.
I know, but I still want to know.
Uh,
Like, do you think that has merit? Like, just running Viper on split on offense and defense and setting up that screen?
see the it can be viable, but the problem is, right, you can't use it to, like, I think the Viper wall is more useful to fake or just show presence than entering the sides, because if you just do a Viper wall where you're going to commit, which most of the teams make the mistake of doing, then the opponent
Hmm.
already knows what you're going to do at the start of the round. So if I had to put it into my team, the way I would use it is to set up different walls at different times and use it either to fake, and one round I would commit off that wall, so the opponents are kept guessing,
Ah,
basically.
so the idea is you try to play more mind games with the Viper than actually using your abilities to gain some sort of advantage. It's more about how
Yep.
well you understand the enemy team mentally.
Yep,
Yep.
exactly. You
Okay.
can. Yeah.
Yep. FaR Esports versus RAD Syndicate. That's our first special 3 of the day, Floki. We should be jumping
Yeah.
into the map soon enough. I think even Hell Rangers should be able to tune in. We've got the veto on our screens, and it's an interesting veto. So Paradox, who I believe is the IGL, I'm going to talk with Hell a little bit more about this. Paradox is playing a duelist. Now, can you just confirm that Paradox is the IGL in this team for me, Hell?
I
Do you
think
know?
from what I know, I think Badman and Paradox both call like from time to time.
Okay.
So I think it's a mix for
They-
them, and I think basically I'm not sure how their calling system is, but from what I know,
Okay.
Batman and Paradox are calling.
And for FaR Esports, I mean, I don't contest what you're saying, because the responsibility of being an IGL is something that, that shouldn't always be taken up by one person. You can be fluid in this game. You can have a lot of mid-round calling. I think for FaR Esports, it's Kargod that does most of the calling, right?
I'm not sure actually, because I think Shivi was
Okay.
an IGL in CS.
Yeah,
So I
Shivi,
don't know what
Shivi
they are
was
doing.
the. She is the IGL according to the information we received. So I think he's the one who's calling on FaR Esports. I could be wrong though. I'm not entirely sure about this. Maybe they switch things up.
Mm-hmm. So
But
yeah, I mean, we saw the rough veto, and we're going to be jumping into the game. It is map number 1, Floki, between
yeah,
RAD Syndicate and FaR Esports. It should be a fun one. One of these teams will be moving on to the final to face off versus Global Esports, who are already sitting there. Sitting with me on the chair is obviously Hellranger from Global Esports. I'm not going to ask him what his strat book is. I think we can look at RAD Syndicate and FaR Esports and the kind of strats that they're running. SMX was on the stream earlier. He did say that he's going to be playing the Omen. Those of you just tuning in, you're watching the One Play Esports Valorant India Invitational. If you've been enjoying the broadcast, One Play Esports, the number 1 Play Esports, you can find them on Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. If you're on YouTube, you should subscribe. You should hit the bell icon so that you get a notification the next time we go live. And we will be going live tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, with the grand finale. When? Well, hit the bell icon. RAD Syndicate versus FaR Esports, Floki, our first pistol of this best of 3. It's split. It's a map that Bhavin has interesting opinions about. Your thoughts on the general veto, Bhavin? Like what the kind of draft that we're looking at in terms of agent veto?
I think it's a pretty balanced veto. I think they have the exact same combination.
One
FaR Esports
player
has the
remaining.
same combination which we play.
Spike planted.
And it's interesting to see
Flawless.
a Phoenix instead of a Breach on RAD, but I think that's because they just want to play more duelist heavy. So I think it's fine regardless.
Okay.
so this is another thing that I wanted to get your opinion on, Hellranger. So we've noticed that all these duelists they always have this 6-point ultimate, right? So do you think it's like you have certain duelists like Phoenix and Jet who can be really good in those sort of eco rounds, especially Jet with the knives. What's your opinion on this? Do you think having more duelists is, as a result, better because you get your ultimate more often, you're able to swing the tempo a lot more? Like if you have a good duelist player, like Skills plays a lot of Phoenix, would you rather just give him a Phoenix even though, say, a particular draft or a particular map may demand another agent?
No, I would never do that. Like we always choose our agents depending on what map and depending on how we want to play. Sure, maybe against a team which we think we can win easily, we might pick it sometimes for fun. But apart from that, in an official game, I would never do that. You need your agent combination to be right in order to win the game, right? So to answer your question, no, I'd rather have a Breach over a Phoenix if that means us winning the game, basically.
Okay, well, fair enough. For now, though, FaR Esports somehow found themselves in a 3v3 against RAD Syndicate, who don't really have a great buy. They are, well, SMX, man, this guy, his look is so strong. Just standing next to them like he's a part of their own team. I even got confused for a second there. As soon as he shot the bullet in the Jets, I was like, oh, okay, he's not on their team. That's how good his lurking skills are. And he did say he was going to be playing Omen. And so far, we're seeing a great Omen from his side.
Yep. It's so far so good for FaR Esports. I mean, they've put together the first 2 rounds. They win the pistol. They keep that momentum going. I think this is when every team gets tested, Hellranger. It's like because you're going up against the first buy. So it can be really tricky because RAD Syndicate have defense and they have everything they need. I mean, they have a Cypher, they have the Raze, which is good at mid, but Knight Rider just finding nutty shots like that. When your duelist does stuff like that, Hellranger, isn't it so much easier?
Yeah, well, it's easier, but that is not going to work out everything. I think the mailroom guy got off guard there because of the way
Yeah,
Knight Rider came through the smoke without a flash. But yeah, that was a
yeah,
nice pick off to get in the start of the round, especially on split on
yep.
the attacking side.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
SMX again. He's YOLO Floki. He's pushing, but he's got to get past Batman. I mean, Batman's camera is ready and it's looking towards B tower. I mean, it's easy to get a read at this stage. And Paradox, he's there with the Phantom. He's managed to bring back the numbers for the defense. How much more can he do?
yeah, I mean, he has the knives out as well if he needs it, but I doubt we're going to be seeing that in this particular round. Now, though, it's going to be a take towards this A side, and Master, how much can you do? Well, he can do a lot because he found 2 quick kills, and FaR Esports, they're just running with
left.
the tails between their legs, and the Breach making his way towards the ropes area instead, now going mid, just hoping to get the spike down if nothing else, because this round is done and dusted. A 3v1. It's going to be extremely difficult for a Breach by himself to pull this round back in this favor, especially with 13 seconds left on the clock. Has the spike, but think he's
seconds
decided
left.
to save instead. Great stuff coming out by RAD Syndicate, and this is something that reminds me of global esports Hellrange. That no matter which team you've played against, even though the first 2 rounds may not go in your favor, you guys always pull it back on the buy rounds. You guys always manage to sort of win the rounds where the economy just makes or breaks. And I have to say, it's really amazing because not all the time will you find players who can just put that mental pressure aside of losing the first 2 rounds. Sometimes they just give it a bit too much importance, and that can end up affecting their performance later on.
Here.
I think it's really important to keep your head. But sorry, but I wanted to put one small thing to notice. If you see,
Sure.
Omen was the
Get
first
out of
guy
my
to die,
way.
their controller, right? After that, they don't have any areas to smoke off. Like they can't smoke off any areas with the. I think SMX should not have taken the first fight there, and rather let a duelist go and take that fight for him.
One enemy remaining.
Absolutely, and yeah, I mean, this structured approach to Valorant is something that we've talked about multiple times as well. Is that how if you just give up your hero with the most, your agent with the most utility at the start of the round, you're just gonna run out of flashes. If you lose a breach, you're gonna run out of smokes. If you lose an omen, losing a duelist is not all that bad because that's what they're sort of meant to do. But losing something like an omen or breach or a Sova, like you mentioned, can be very detrimental early on in a round. This time around, though, RAD Syndicate have managed to pull it back. I'd like to just pull up the scoreboard real quick and see if FaR Esports have a buy this round. So, yep, they ecoed last round. They have a decent buy coming in. What do you think they should do differently, Hellranger, after losing those 2 rounds in a row? Do you think they should try to get some more mid control, maybe? Should they just gamble on a site? How do you play this?
I think they are walking in a bit too much for my likelihood at mid, so they need to use their utilities and try to establish mid and ropes control, basically mailroom and ropes room control both, and after that they can switch up based on the information of their lurkers and based on what agents have what ults. So but I think that is something they can do and which will help them to win the rounds.
I see.
SMX was quite good with the paranoia there, if I'm not mistaken. I think the paranoia was effective enough to really cause problems. So, FaR Esports, I think Master was blinded by that paranoia. I'm not even sure if it was his allies' paranoia, but it did the trick. I don't know. Master couldn't see anything and he gets picked off. But mid control is what every team wants, Hellranger. Mid control is what FaR Esports are trying to get bit by bit.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, and that was a very nutty shot on the Cypher's head. He's down to a sliver of his life, but the Breach going forward is going to find the first pick. So this B-side is up for grabs, but look at Batman anchoring it down, and FaR God, he's able to find the trade, but at what cost? Down to a 2v2. This is very doable for RAD Syndicate, especially with both ultimates up and
10
ready for them.
seconds left.
Jet goes in with the knives out. Is gonna start making her way towards the site, and oh no, this Raze is caught with her pants down. Fully exposed. The Phoenix is going to make enough space to get the defuse out, but yeah, this round not really working out well for FaR Esports. Batman there. What a play.
Wait, 1 second. Was that a team flash, Hellranger? Did I miss something?
Yeah, that was the team flash. Yeah. Initially,
Okay.
you
ZBDF
mean
with the
at
team
start of
flash.
the
Okay.
round, right? Yeah, with the team flash, yes. But
Okay.
I think actually FaR took mid control using all they took it really nicely, but then not checking a basic angle like under heaven is going to hurt you always. Like even if you kill one guy, there are always going to be more players. So I think they need to be just a bit more careful, and I think they could have easily won this round if they had traded Batman off, maybe even for a 1-for-1 kill, right? So
Yeah.
I think that was the main changing factor there.
Yep. RAD Syndicate have got to be a little disappointed because Master did find that first kill, and then ZBDF with the team flash on the Omen. That's not what you want. Master was set up for more. But I think it was a gamble. I thought maybe Master was ready to just pre-fire that angle. Knight Rider is doing some solid work. He just keeps finding openings, but ZBDF is also reliable, Floki. And these Omens, it's the battle between the Omens, and SMX will manage to pull back. This is definitely going to be a close best of 3, Floki. This is not going to end on Haven. I think this might just go all the way to our third map.
I think it's going to third map overtime. I wouldn't count any of these teams out in any situation. I mean, we saw how far Esports, despite being put against Team Villainous that day, even though Team Villainous took the first game, I believe they were able to make it all the way back and really hand it to them when the third map came along. And RAD Syndicate is not a team that backs down easily either. I mean, they have a wealth of experience between all their players and a lot of raw firepower as well. So yeah, this is going to be a close
30
one.
seconds left.
This round, though, I don't think this round's going to be close because FaR Esports, they should have complete control over the bomb site unless Batman can just peek out like this and deny it to them. They'll at least get the bomb down, but not sure how this post plan's going to go, Vivek.
Spike planted.
I have no idea. I mean, post plans, 2v2s, they should favor the offense, right, Hellranger?
One player standing.
Yeah, always. If they play it nicely, the post plans should generally favor the offense. But I think that was a wasted ulti by Master. He should have spotted the enemy first, actually, in my opinion.
Aisa matlab, coin toss. He just went for a full coin toss showstopper,
Yeah.
and the show is still going on. And now there's a Jet. And Knight Rider
Rider
found
played it
3 kills in that round, man. Knight Rider found 3 kills in that round. Or, yeah, at least 2 or 3. Knight Rider did a lot. He found the opening.
He found three. He found 3 kills.
Yeah.
And
I think,
well,
yeah,
sorry,
so
go
I
on.
was saying, like, what FaR did really well was actually they took ARAM control. They did put pressure at mid at the start of the round, and you see SMX did a really good teleport into the smoke of rope room because it was good for 2 reasons. First, since Knight Rider had ARAM control, the guy at ropes might have fell back and put his focus there. And after that, SMX took free control of that part and got a free kill on Sky. So I think that initial pressure created a bit of chaos. And help them win the round. And Knight Rider played it really well.
Okay, but I mean, that was a little weird watching Master just get those 2 kills for pretty much no cost at all, as he's still sitting on full shields and full HP, tosses out the boom dot, gets a third one, that's a spike down, and the round was just won by FaR Esports. Well, RAD Syndicate, they answer back loud and clear. SMX is all alone by himself. I'm not sure how much he can do. The Phoenix is able to heal back up with the firewall and the hot hands. And SMX, well, he's cleaning up. He's putting in the work. Question is he prepared for Paradox's position? He is positioned rather cheekily, and he makes it past him all the way into rope rooms. I don't think he knows that this has happened. SMX, wow, these are some 200 IQ plays. But he's going to go back and find the Jet for himself, picks up the op, and now throwing out the dark cover with the shrouded step to maybe surprise and catch someone off guard. I'm sure they heard that though. SMX, well, he can get 3, but getting 5 is a little bit difficult.
Yeah. Hellranger, what's the point of lurking when you don't have time on the clock?
Well, actually, it's not SMX's fault for lurking there, but
Yeah.
like,
No, nobody's
Master
fault. I'm
should-
just asking you. What do you do? Like, what can you do when you lose everyone at mid? Everybody's
Yeah,
died
just
at mid.
just save at that point, right? Yeah, there's nothing else you can do.
Yeah. SMX really tried that
Like-
round. He tried. Like,
Yeah.
He did try. It was a good effort from him actually. The paranoia and the teleport combo really caught Paradox off guard. So that was a really good play there. But there was not much he could have done after Master just walks into mid and takes down 3 guys. Like, that should never happen ever in this game. But he just killed them with his raw aim, and I think FaR was caught off guard with his aggression basically.
yeah. I think I just want to point this out. When you guys played Ascent, the one player who tried his best to really be ready for your aggression whenever you guys were being aggressive on defense was Quake. Both Quake as well as their Cypher main, which is Cruiser God, they
Cruiser God.
tried so hard on offense to be ready for you guys. But I think this game is a game of preparation as much as it is about what you do on that day. And I think as we have, more matches going on in South Asia and Southeast Asia, more teams will be able to, prepare for these tendencies. And these tendencies keep changing, hell. The patch keeps
Yeah.
changing. It's not
But
one
when
that
they
stays forever.
when they prepare for one thing we do, we will just change it up. We play like it's a game of chess. You don't just play according to what you are going to do. If the opponent is adapting to it, you adapt again and then catch them off guard. So if they study our demos and try to counter us, it's not going to be of any use because we'll change our game on the spot and then they'll not know what to do. So you have to learn how
Yep.
to like play the game rather than just to playing against us.
I know exactly
Yep.
where
I
you
see.
That's called counter stratting, folks, and I think that's something that every tactical shooter demands of you. For now, RAD Syndicate, I don't know what preparation they have. It seems like Master's raw aim was doing the trick, but now they're dwindling in numbers. They've got 3 members alive. FaR, they've managed to get hold of the site. The push is coming, but Scargod's so ready with the Phantom. He'll shut down Starboy. And now it's just the Omen and the Jet. I really don't know if RAD Syndicate
One
have
enemy
enough to
remaining.
make this retake work. ZBDF killed off by that fusion cannon. 1 man alive. It's Paradox with the Operator. And Hellranger isn't this just the worst weapon to try and make a retake happen with?
It's, just save it. At that point, when you have an op in a 1v4, just save. If he had the Jet ulti and it was a 1v2, maybe something else. But right now, there's no chance.
Okay. Solid call. I mean,
But with
the defense needs to build their economy, right?
Yeah, with an op, but like even if you're retaking, just since the round is already over, with an op you can use it to mark angles for your teammates. Actually, what most people make the mistake of is trying to peek in with the op, and you can never do that.
Mhm.
You'd rather mark different angles for your teammates while they're
Yep.
entering the site, so that it can't be peeked from the second angle basically, or wrapped
Yep.
around. That is
Yep.
that is just a small tip basically of what you can do with the op while retake.
Geez, you guys need to go to Hellranger's channel, and I think you guys definitely need to tune into this channel more because we've got like
Yep.
a lot of solid content just coming out. It's One Play Esports on the YouTube. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, and Hellranger, what are you at?
Official Hellranger guys, all Instagram.
Yeah,
YouTube,
I'm just reminding you.
just official.
Yep,
Yeah, and
official Hellranger,
yeah,
official.
no spaces,
Yeah,
no
I-
spaces.
No spaces. Yeah, I had to put official Vivek on my Instagram because somebody took Vivek on Instagram. I don't know who, but yeah,
How surprising.
Wow.
not surprising. Not surprising. Genuinely not surprising. I was just wondering, क्यों मतलब, why will anybody take this name? But yeah,
Yeah, well,
common
that's a
name.
mystery for another time, Vivek. That's a mystery for another time. And it's a common name, but let's just let it be. We'll just leave it at that. FaR Esports stuck in a 3v5 though against 3 ultimates on RAD Syndicate. I don't think they're gonna feel inclined to use any of them. And this has been a very even game so far with constant back and forth. No team really getting the lead per se. And it seems like we're going to be in for a long one, Vivek, like you mentioned. This game is not going to be getting over anytime soon. But Whitehorse, he's
30
able to
seconds
find the
left.
opening by getting the kill onto ZBDF. So maybe they can at least get the plant down, and they should be able to do so. The Omen is lurking towards the defense side. He's going to be able to pick up one with the Phoenix. The Jet instantly dashes out of there, goes up towards that heaven area, and the spike has been planted, making this a 3v2 from a 3v4. All of a sudden, FaR Esports, they have a very good chance of winning this. Master, he's able to get the first kill, but he's all by himself and they know where he is. He tosses out the frag grenade, but he peeks out again and, well, you can't disrespect FaR Esports like that. 2 people marking his position, he's just gonna end up going down. And now this half is just only inches closer and closer towards the end. It seems we're gonna be getting a very even score. Unless the side of FaR Esports can start running away with this small but significant lead that they've built up economically.
It was
Yeah.
a 5v3 round for I think RAD Syndicate, and
Yep.
after that they just peaked one by one. I don't understand why they just peaked one by one, and they just threw that. In my opinion, they threw that round because if Batman and ZBDF played together, they could not have lost that round basically at that point.
Yeah. You think they should at least, because this for RAD Syndicate in the whole best of 3, this is the only map they get to start on defense. I think on Haven as well as Bind, they're playing offense. Don't you think they should be getting a lot more rounds, Hellranger?
A split is like on split you can get 10 or 11 defensive rounds, and it's still a hard map to come back from. So I think you need at least, if I'm them, like at least 6 rounds right now, right? The
My
remaining
god, Paradox! But yeah, sorry to interrupt you there, but Paradox was able to catch them all off guard, and RAD Syndicate, we saw FaR Esports make a rather unconventional comeback in the previous round. This time it's Paradox, and Hellranger, you mentioned how checking your corners is something fundamental that every team should do, regardless of what situation you find yourself in. But the side of FaR Esports don't do that, and they pay the price. The Cypher able to get the bomb down, but Master's quick to find the kill. And just like that, a round that wasn't really supposed to go... well, I guess you could say it was supposed to go in their favor, but after what Paradox did, I mean, how does that happen? The Omen just blasted past the Jet without even spotting him. The Jet is able to find the kill. Elsewhere, Master is able to find another pick off. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm tongue twisted.
I think FaR Esports was trying to fake off RAD Syndicate in an eco round on a 5v3, but they did not have any tripwire at mid, and Paradox just walked in, killed one guy, and started his ult. I think they should have just stuck together and went on as 5 people, because I don't think RAD would have been able to secure the round. And it was unlucky timing for them, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, very ridiculous round coming out by both teams there for the last 2 ones, but yeah, Chevy is able to find the kill and even things out after losing that fight mid. So, so far so good. FaR Esports have a pretty decent chance of making it to the bomb side. No Cypher traps really towards the B side either, just a camera, but there is the presence of the AWPer towards that B side. It's not going to be an easy take by any means.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at FaR Esports, they've just set up one trip for an A push, and now they're actually grouping up mid. Are they? It looks like they're going mid to B, right? But they have to get past a lot of stuff. First and for all, Paradox is there with the operator. Paradox is actually just going to give up a little bit of control, and now immediately they're swinging to it. They're confused. If you just look at them, they went towards Vents, and now they're swinging back to B. This is going to be interesting. Paradox is now rotating back. I think they just wanted to force out Paradox's rotation. Paradox there with the operator, so reliable. He finds a kill. He's managed to kill Shivy. They still have to get onto the side and plant the bomb. And FaR Esports, will they even get to plant the spike? I don't know. ScarGod is trying his best. He's got White House by his side, but the defenders have managed to just clump up together. They've done it. Paradox did enough with the operator. Starboy did manage to hold on to it. It's a good round coming out from the defense.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, and I mean that's the eco round shenanigans paying dividends there. Paradox was able to get his hands on the op because he found those skills. They win that round. He ends up with an op. He finds the pick in the very next round, and all of a sudden FaR Esports are now caught in this situation where one of the players doesn't really have a goodbye.
Yeah,
but
Get out of my way.
I think they. Whoops. They need to respect these duelists a little bit more, because Master and Paradox are just like, they will press W if you give them a chance. So now they've ignored mid control. They just swung into B. Batman is there. Batman needs to find one kill. He's not going to find anything. The Boombot moves towards him, and SMX with the Vandal somehow gets credit for that kill. Master is there. Master is trying to make this retake happen. He's found one kill, sent out his Boombot. It's now 4v4 Floki. And hell, they can do it. They won this round. The defense needs this round.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I mean, down to a 4v4. This is very doable. I mean, you have the op set up right then. Paradox is able to find the trade just for that precise reason alone. That's why the side of RAD Syndicate can take this round. ZBDF finding 2 kills though. And just like that, this round should be done and dusted as Master hammers the final nails in the coffin. 7 rounds for RAD Syndicate on the defense side. And I don't think it could have been any better
Switching sides.
given the kind of rounds RAD Syndicate were playing. Specifically referring to that Eco round, man. That was just ridiculous. I mean, if that didn't happen, I'm sure the scoreboard would not look like this.
No, but this round was very retake-able because of two reasons. See, it's easy to get into the B side, right? If you dash in and you just smokes and whatnot. But if you look at the post plans that FaR Esports had, they had two guys towards B main, one guy back off site, and one guy playing pillar. There's absolutely like if there's a team who is retaking it properly and has utility or abilities, there's absolutely no chance that you'll be able to hold them off because you don't have anyone rafters, you don't have anyone flanking, you don't have anyone under heaven, you don't have a crossfire. You guys are just standing in one line. So I always have this theory when you should have a triangle, basically a triangular crossfire where you can peek at each other's contact or at least have positioning or some place like have rafters, have under heaven, or have a flank, at least some of that to be able to secure the round, basically.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you think that the possibility to make a triangle is easier on A for post plans?
Let's say they had one guy rafters, they had one guy backside, and they had one guy pillars. All of them can play on each other's contacts, right? If they have one rafters, one pillar, one backside. If a guy comes out from CT, they can triple peek him. If they come out to heaven, they can triple peek the same. So basically, you always have the chance of peeking together, having a double peek or trade, basically a trade potential. That is something which is very much needed while you're playing post plans.
I think there the trade potential was fine, Floki. Hellraiser, do you approve of the trade potential?
Yeah. Well, now that they won, I have to say yes.
It looked good. It looked good to me. I think.
Winning
the pistol.
No, it was good.
Yeah, they won the pistol, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think B rush is just something that is universally disapproved by developers, by players, across multiple tactical shooters. It's not just Valorant. Anyway, you just try to do a B rush, it's just not gonna work against good teams. For now, the ScarGod was able to find a pick off with the boom ball. Finds the second one as well with the SMG, holding down this mid area. And well, RAD Syndicate. Okay, he finds a third kill as well. I mean, I don't think it matters for RAD Syndicate because this wasn't even a buy for them, but that has to be demoralizing to some extent where you just put 3 people out mid and give it up for free without getting any sort of control on the area. And now you're going to try to peek out towards heaven, but it's going to be an ace for FaR ScarGod. It's an eco ace, but hey, an ace is an ace.
I think, I feel like all Raze players, Hellranger, they're in this constant, like, who showstopper is bigger kind of measurement contest. I genuinely feel all Raze players are like this. But I really have to ask you, who is the best Raze player in Mumbai? Is it Excali? Do you think, like, in the usage of blast packs and showstopper and everything, do you think it's Excali?
Yeah, I think Excali is really good. I think skills can also be really good, but he doesn't know how to use his ulti. Like, last night we were playing Pugs and he used 7 Raze ults without killing a person. So till the time he learns how to use the Raze ult, I think Excali is. I think Excali is a really good Raze player right now.
I think both Scar and Master, ScarGod as well as Master are really good. I was really impressed. Master did some good stuff. I mean, like, it depends, it really depends on the map and the opportunities the Raze is presented with. I'm really happy that they have the confidence to, just pick up the Raze on split. It's one of the more easier but still challenging maps because of verticality and how ineffective to an extent blast packs have been made. But it doesn't matter, Floki. If you don't have blast packs, if you don't have boom bots, you just make do with the Spectre.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, SMX, that has to be a terrible way to die as the paint shells just line up at his feet and he gets blown apart. Colorful death, as the Raze likes to put it. Down to a 4v3, FaR Esports. This is going to be a tall order. And Badman, he's just hammering the final nails in the coffin. This is not going to be an easy retake by any means. But they're on Spectres and they're on shields. Maybe they save here. I don't know. What's your opinion, Hellranger? Would you rather save in this situation or go for it?
player
I
remaining.
think they have the Spectre bias, so right? They're just trying to go for it while they can, right? Because it's throwaway guns in that mentality. Spectres and all of these are throwaway guns. I think they were just trying to go for some extra kills, but right now it's good. Like I think Knight Rider has just saved his Bulldog, and I think they can still have a buy in the next round because no one died in the previous round for FaR. Since I think Scar got that ace, right? So I think it was fine since they got a lot of vandals and out of the hands of RAD Syndicate. It was a good attempt basically, a win for FaR.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
clearly it was a win for FaR. I mean, they have a full buy, like you mentioned. They even have some extra cash to work with. Knight Rider sitting on 4,800. So even if they lose this round, they can put him on the op next round. Although his team may not have the best buy in the world, he still has a lot of money in the bank. This round, though, it's going to be important to see if RAD Syndicate can slowly but surely pull it back, because they want to make sure that FaR Esports doesn't really establish that long lead, because it can be really hard to come back in this game once you fall behind. And
Yep.
RAD Syndicate. Yeah,
I
go
think
on.
like this is where IGLs get tested, right? Hell, because the defense has a buy, the offense has a buy, but I mean, if you don't even give yourself a chance, I don't know how you put this offense together. If you dry peak like that, Hellranger, what are you supposed to do? I don't even know if he dry peak.
I don't think this is this is not the way of, like, in my opinion, this is not the way you play Valorant. Basically, it's not Counter Strike where you just dry peak angles, because you have a lot of abilities. You have a lot of
I don't
utilities.
think
You
he
still have
dry peaked. I might have been wrong. Maybe there might have been a flash, but I don't know.
The second guy dry peaked, right? Regardless.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
the
the
second
second
one.
guy
even
dry
in a
peaked.
4v, yeah, so even in a 4v5, the round is not unwinnable. Like whenever you get to a 4v5, this
30
happens sometimes
seconds
even in
left.
my team. People start peeking one by one because you're not going to win the round that way, right? So why are you just dry peeking it? Like, there's a 50% chance you lose or win that duel. Rather go for something
Yep.
with more potential, 60 or a 70% chance where you can win the round or get a pick off.
Okay. But sometimes the dry
10
peaks work.
seconds
I think you got to give the offense credit that Master has that raw aim potential. But is it enough time on the clock? Scargod is starting to ask questions, but Scargod doesn't have too much HP. And Batman undone. It's now on Master. Master shot through the thin as television screen that's there. Television screens are thin. But yeah, it's enough. The retake works. I mean, they started to put that pressure on themselves. Time was starting to run out, and they just tried to force a side. It didn't happen. The first peak didn't work. The second peak was a dry peak. They tried, and then you put the pressure more on individuals, right? Like the more mistakes you make, the more the individual has to like outdo all the mistakes. So there was a limit that Paradox and the others could really manage.
No, even in the 3v5, right? It was FaR who made the mistakes of picking them one by one. Or there is no way in hell that RAD could ever enter the site, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? They just peeked them one by one and gave them free kills. So after that, they should have just set up a crossfire and they should have just secured the round. in my opinion.
Okay, well, SMX. Yeah, he's very keen with these one-way smokes, as he's always throwing them out and trying to get a pick off at the start of the round, using the utility rather selfishly on Omen. I'm not sure if it's a good or a bad use, so I'm going to refrain from using those adjectives, but it's definitely one way to play him. Shivy, in the meantime, is able to find some kills at FaR Esports, slowly but surely pulling this back in the favor of the defense, and RAD Syndicate, one by one, they fall like flies. All just caught up towards this A area, towards ramps, and well, they're going to get punished. The spike though is on Cypher, and he's making a run for it on the B side and should be able to get the plant down unless Scargod can get in position, and he is. Well,
guys, I don't know if SMX threw a one-way in that round, but I'm going to give you guys a very easy tip. And for that kind of a tip, you don't need to go to Hellranger's video. For better stuff, you can go to Hellranger's content. For now, it's RAD Syndicate with just one man alive, and Batman, not the best day.
Yep.
The spike is gonna get defused. Batman tried his best, but to get brownie points, to get a kill with a blast pack with the satchel, looks good on the kill feed. Scargod gets it, takes it. But yeah, the Omen one-way smoke, like you were saying, it's Hellranger, correct me if I'm wrong or anything, but please, I know you play Omen a lot. I think the
Yeah.
easy one way to throw for SMX, he has to be a little bit closer, right? You need to not be in the shadow mode and be in the normal mode and look at that green indicator, that green triangle. And you need to make sure that the green triangle hits a certain spot. I don't think SMX threw a one way in that round, right?
Yeah, that was not a one way. And yes, you're right. You need to be like it can be the one that SMX threw, right? Can be a one
Oh,
way.
that
but I
is a
think
one
you
way.
play a
That
higher
is a
angle.
one way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's
he
not
did
a,
throw a one way this time.
Okay, well, ZBDF, he's able to find the kill on White Toss, and RAD Syndicate this time around just explode onto A side without any concerns, and FaR Esports, well, the walls are not very strong because RAD Syndicate knocked them down. Badman, though, he is in a really good position to cut off this rotation coming in from Rope Room. Starboy is there to help him as well to create a bit of a distraction, but, well, it's not much of a distraction as he's just picking up kills all by himself, putting points towards that ultimate of his, the body double, I forgot what it's called. Let's run it back. There we go. And he's going to be joining his brethren in the ultimate squad next round, I believe. Knight Rider, he has a lot of cash saved up, but there's not much he can do with it because he has the operate all by himself and he needs to save it. If he dies, though, this is a big win for RAD Syndicate, an even bigger win.
Yeah. I mean, the spike is ticking, and I think Knight Rider is not going to even bother. He's just going to hold on to the operator. 9-9, things are starting to get tricky, and FaR Esports want to maintain that economy. And, Hellrager, you were mentioning that he needs to play a different angle. You're saying that maybe he should be playing towards Star?
Yeah, he should be playing towards rafters because then it's a more effective one way, right? Since
Yeah,
the
yeah,
height
yeah.
of the smoke is a bit too much, and if the terrorists are peeking from, not the terrorists, sorry, if the attackers are peeking from the entrance, they can't see the rafters, but SMX will be able to see them if you place that angle. So I think that is
Also, because
a better utilization
SMX is
of that.
throwing it from that far, it takes time, right? That's another thing,
Yeah, it
right,
takes,
Hellrager?
it takes a lot of time. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're using a one way, the closer you throw it from, the better for your team or for yourself, basically.
And this time around, once again, RAD Syndicate have just exploded onto a side without any cause for concern, but this time around, FaR Esports are ready for it. They're punishing, but look at Starboy. He's actually managed to pull it back in their favor, and if they want, they have a Cypher ult up at the ready, although there is nobody that is in a safe position to pop it and kind of figure out what the positioning is on the side of FaR Esports. They have the Omen ult, they could use it to fake a little bit, but the Paranoia comes out perfectly. I think it hit both of them, and SMX gets to the shaky position. I don't think they're aware that he is here. The Cypher, well, he was about to be compromised, but Starboy's got his back covered, and RAD Syndicate, they're making these rather aggressive raw pushes work for themselves, Hellranger. They're not really concerned where they're using too much utility to go to a side and get control.
Yeah, well, initially FaR is like SMX was just playing alone on the A side using that one-way smoke. So RAD caught on to that and hit the A side. But if you notice in the last round, 6 players died, right? But did you see the amount of utility being used? It was so less. I'm pretty sure almost all of them had their utilities up. So I don't know, like it's just raw aim duels at this point. See again, it's just pure rush. This is.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly like you.
Yeah, this is not the way to play this game. I'm sorry, but you're not going.
Oh, that's okay.
You're not going to win. Yeah, like it's a really hard way to play this game. You make it hard for yourself.
It doesn't work. Yeah, you make it hard for yourself. I don't know.
I think like the game has granted you 4 abilities. One of them is an ultimate. Just learn how to use it properly. It's gonna make your chances of winning a lot better. I think it's just that simple. And
it's not just about the ultimate. They didn't even use a flash to flash off the ramp. They didn't even smoke heaven. They didn't use any nades to block off the.
They just
heaven.
ran.
They didn't use a flash to enter the side. They just ran. Just W. So
I hear a bit of stress in your voice, Hellranger. Is this giving you PTSD back to your Mumbai parks? Is this something that's bringing back bad memories?
This is what happens when I play pucks, and that is why I don't like it.
Well, I mean, there we go. I mean, there's a source of frustration, but yeah, I can imagine that this is not a very fun way to play. But well, for these teams, it seems to be working out because that's exactly how they want to play this game. Scargod, in the meantime, is able to find a lot of kills, but look at SMX single-handedly shutting down this push from RAD Syndicate. And oh boy, when you don't use your abilities, Hellranger, well, it's just about who clicks heads better. This game has been.
This round SMX played it really well actually. He like after he heard them rushing into A, he used his ultimate to ultimate into the T spawn, right? And then he
Oh.
used his teleport to go over the trip, and he caught the guys at ramp and site off guard because they did not expect SMX to be at T spawn so fast, basically.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. That's well, I mean, looks like some members of this game have started to not reduce it to a point-and-click adventure, and I think Hellranger's quite pleased with that. Quite happy to know that people are
No,
finally using their abilities properly.
no, that
Yeah.
was that was a really good play from SMX, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And SMX has been popping off as well on FaR Esports. He was earlier here. He was here on the stream earlier today, and he was talking about how he's going to play Omen. I mean, in one way, you don't really want to tell your enemies what you're going to be doing and giving them sort of time to prepare for it. But SMX, on the other hand, goes YOLO, doesn't care, just says, you know what, I'm going to be playing Omen. And he knows that other people are watching this. He knows that potentially RAD Syndicate could be on the stream. But he doesn't care. He's just like, I'm going to play Omen. Do what you can.
Yeah, well,
And well,
someone has to, right? So it does
Yeah.
not matter if SMX plays it or anyone from his team plays it. Someone has to play that role, and the opponents like Rad should already be prepared for the plays with Omen, regardless of whoever is playing it. Is what
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the approach that seems to be working in this tournament so far in this game. But seems that other teams are really reducing it to a point-and-click adventure. And I think every round you see where someone dies without using the utility like that, I think I think that's some money you're gonna be spending on your therapist. That's probably something you want to talk about to a psychologist. The source of stress
I know
that's there in your life, constantly seeing these players not use the utility. But there we go, there's the breach ultimate. That's what we like to see. It connected onto a couple of people, but wow, that's a lot of kills being triggered in a very short span of time. Shimmy was able to find that, and oh boy, the moment you use your ultimate, it's almost as if magic happens. Like, finally these teams are starting to pull things back in their favor. I think that ultimate hit pretty much everyone. It
Yeah.
also hit his own, it hit his own Cypher.
Yeah, the funny part is it is like two of his own teammates got hit by the
Match point.
ultimate, and those were the ones that died. So
Yeah, this is what
think that
happens
can
when
happen with
Vivek
you.
plays Bleach. Yeah, this is what happens when Vivek
Okay.
plays Bleach. This is why he needs to watch your videos.
Yeah,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No, you're probably right, Floki. Like, it is tricky, right? I mean, you can see the line on the minimap, but you still have to call out in Mumbai that दोस्तों एक line बन रहा है minimap पे, थोड़ा side पे हट जाओ, नहीं तो concussion.
Yep. It's like getting caught in a crossfire. It's like collateral damage. I mean, if you stay in the way, you're gonna get hit. I don't care if you're there. I'm gonna use my ult. This time around, though, a slightly more measured approach. We're seeing both sides throw the utility a bit more. Knight Rider is able to find a pick onto Badman, though, and he's able to retreat with the Cloud Burst. Great stuff coming out from him, and this is what we like to see. The Jet on the op, always so strong, can consistently get picks like this thanks to her abilities. And now Knight Rider's forced to rotate after the Hot Hands is committed. But look at Scargod's position. One by one they peak, and one by one they fall. RAD Syndicate, man, I have to say, they were looking pretty good at the start of the round, but these last few rounds, FaR Esports have really brought it back. Paradox is trying his best to carry his team on his back. He has the nice op, but what exactly is that going to do when you already have a rifle to work with? Maybe you can jump up in the air and find shots that you wouldn't usually find, but it's not going to be very easy. The spike is going to go down. Unfortunately, he's stuck in a 1v3, and this, if he can pull it off, it'd be great. He finds, well, I thought he found a kill, but he didn't, and just like that, FaR Esports, they're going to take this map. First map split going in their favor, and I have to say, like, it seems like they heard you, Hellrange. I think telepathically they understood that, okay, we need to start using a utility a bit more, and as soon as they did that, FaR Esports pulled a couple of rounds, they stringed a few rounds in their favor.
Well, I think FaR played much better on the T side than RAD Syndicate actually. RAD is, as you can see, they're just walking into most of the areas or running into sites. So it's really like it might work on a few maps, maybe on an Ascent it might work out, but on a map like Split you can't do that. It's impossible to win rounds on Split while rushing into the site, right? So I think that is what
Yeah.
that is what FaR took advantage of, and they just played it calmly, and I think they got some easy retakes because of the mistakes RAD was making.
Yep.
Elranger, I had to ask you, we looked at that small little scorecard and I really wanted to ask you, did you have anyone that you felt was a difference maker? Did you find someone that really made the difference for FaR? Do you think it was SMX?
I think it was either SMX or Scar God. I think Scar God also played really well with the Raze, right? And even SMX had some good plays with his ults. So I think both of those players, like everyone went a bit over aggressive, but I think those two players were the game changers for FaR Esports. I think even Knight and Master, even Master played
Night
well
Rider.
from Knight,
Yeah.
Master, and Paradox. Even these
Master.
guys played well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
out of
think
all the 10 players.
अच्छा मतलब एक MVP तो नहीं है सब 10 जन MVP है
नहीं
pick
but I
up
think
pick up map
it,
MVP
it's
for
either
me.
SMX or Scar God. It's either SMX or Scar God.
Okay, I think it's Floki, your map MVP.
This might sound like I'm fanboying a little bit, but I really liked SMX's play. The way he was setting up those one-way smokes, he was really just taking all the responsibility on himself. He was like, you know what? If there's not going to be team communication, I'm going to try to make my game as best as I can, and I'm going to try to carry my team. I really respect that in a way.
Okay.
That's maybe it's not the best approach to play Valorant, as I can see Hellranger internally cringing. But that is just my opinion. It doesn't mean much. Vivek, what's your
Okay.
MVP though? Who's your MVP?
My MVP, I mean, if I had to pick one, I'm gonna give it to Knight Rider just for being an effective opper. He wasn't floating too much with the operator, but when he had it, he was effective. So on defense, that's what matters. We got our second map coming up, which is Haven. Hellranger, we might be cutting to a break. I'd really, really love you for Haven because I think this amongst all the maps, this is the most 50-50 map. And I'd love to hear what you think of 3 spike sites. Not 1, not 2, but 3. What do you do with 3 spike sites?
You'll have to show some default and take control of different parts of the map, but I'm not going to
Okay.
get too technical because most likely we are going to see some rushes onto a single site, so it'll be some good fun basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. But Hellranger, can I confirm you for chat? Will you be there for chat? Not for Floki, not for B, but for chat.
I think it should be a surprise for them. So if I am there or if I'm not there, they'll get a surprise regardless.
Okay, I think Haven is a surprise regardless. Those of you just tuning in, you're watching the One Play Esports Valorant India Invitational. 50,000 Indian rupees at stake. Global Esports are your first confirmed finalists. Global Esports, yes, they made it to the finals. They're going to be facing off versus the winner of FaR versus RAD Syndicate. They're a syndicate, and they've got to make a comeback on Haven. For now, Floki, Hellranger, and I, we're going to take a short break.
I'll have to try that again. 1 second.
Reposition himself, and SMX, he's going to end up falling. Goro with the Vandal finds the kills, with Scargod and Knight Rider there for those kills, for those trays, as Knight Rider finds 2 crucial kills with the knives. It's NXS all by himself with that Sheriff. He's going to tap the spike, but I don't think he's going to be able to do this. He needs the headshot. He gets the headshot. So it's not going to be easy to take control of Lambs. Dodge has tossed the flash. There is a smoke coming in from the Brimstone on the spike. Somebody needs to tap it. Somebody needs time to tap it. But NXS is just finding kill after kill after kill, and now it's one man for the defense, SMX, and look at how far he's been pushed off. The operator paying dividends, Floki, as
This round could just be shut down very quickly for Team Villainous. As you've seen, all the rounds they've lost has been back on Thunder. For now, the flash is coming in from the Jet. Is going to get blinded, but not before finding the pick. Quick to find the trade. Quick to find a man advantage to get spawned. No! Quick single-handedly locking down the site. Down to a 3v1 FaR Esports. They are going to be caught with their pants down. And the side of FaR Esports are going to find some control towards A. They're just not going in yet, so the 3 people are still together and Quake is cleaning them up. Most certainly going to be 4-7. In fact, look at NSX, he's gotten the other corner. Sam is not going to come through and he's going to be greeted from the back as NXS finds 3 kills. Single-handedly shutting down this mid-control coming in from FaR Esports. And NXS, this round is done. It's dusted.
he's aggressive with the breach. Is it good enough for FaR? Knight Rider now with the op will sing, and SMX with the Phantom will manage to pick up 2 crucial kills. I don't know what kind of buy is going to be coming out from Villainous. I don't even know if Quick can clutch it. No, he can't. The Rolling Thunder. So they'll start with the run it back. ScarGod will deal with it. Nightrider actually finds a kill elsewhere onto the enemy jet. That's huge. So one ultimate down dodge finds a kill. No opportunity for the noodles left. Shivy, the first point of contact towards B-Main, finds two crucial kills with the Phantom. And there's Nightrider with the op. The defense has done it. They've shut them down.
From the side of Team Villainous, but can they find kills? That's the question. Whitehorse shutting the first down, gets the first kill onto NXS. The bazooka goes off from ScarGod. Does do a fair amount of damage, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. The grenade is going to find the kill. It's going to find two, in fact. Two of the god also ends up going down. And this match is most certainly done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going to game number 3 as FaR Esports take game number 2 on split.
Smoke has come out towards defender spawn. Quake has been smoked off. He doesn't have the recon bolt for information, so he's got to spray wildly based on whatever sound cues he gets. The paranoia there, and Quake with the spray finds two crucial kills. Progress towards the side. Shivy is the one though with the spike, and Quake will not let Nightrider pass. It's now a 2v3 for the offense, and it's slowly chipping down to just one man on the server. ScarGod, he made progress towards the side. He will manage to pick up the spike, but look at the clock. 10 seconds on the clock. He wants to just get the spike planted. Will he be allowed to? Paranoia blinding him. No sound cues to work with. He's got his clip blindly and get one kill. Follow it up with the second. The Phantom has done wonders for him, but INXS is his undoing. The trick. He finds the kill towards B-Main. It's SMX, Nightrider plus ScarGod. Nightrider does work with the knife, does manage to find one. It's SMX and ScarGod that have got to pull this back. It's just one man on the server though for Villainous. He's done so much with the Sheriff in the past. Can NXS pull it off? NXS under heaven, knives in hand, has nowhere to go. And Villainous will lose the series 1-2, Floki.
I have to commend them, even though they lost. It's a great showing by them to be able to show up last minute and give this level of performance, which we haven't even seen by some of the other teams in this tournament. It's really something, and it's something commendable.
At Master, just trying to hold on to screens as he gets smoked off. ZBDF is there at the back of side to get that kill with the Ghost. And bit by bit, Sai is trying to find openings elsewhere. Master has done his bit, he's taken down Hush. Numbers not looking so good for the defense, but Master with the Ghost looking sublime as he spikes first. Where the hell is Sai? Too far on the lurk.
Find a lot of information, and the Rolling Thunder is going to come through, but it doesn't connect onto anyone. Rexy ends up wasting his ultimate. Batman drops down, gets all the kills by himself. The first that's going to come in from the enemy sniper, coming in from Batman. Look at Tito though.
Wondering if they can start swinging towards A. If they can't swing towards A, this is what happens. Tito gets punished. Batman peeks with the Vandal, manages to bring down not just Tito, he's got Hush as well. You got the Omen keeping in, but Starboy just being calm, composed, deals with the immediate threat, isolated duels. It's close. It's going to be really touch and go. It's going to boil down to that first pistol. Sai, though, is not ready. He's not going to wait. He's not going to bother about that first pistol. He's going to kill right now as he's picked up 3. He's got the knives out. He wants to hunt for more.
Opening things up, and this round, well, it's just going to be about how much money you can build up. Paradox, building up a fair amount of it, finds 3 kills. He might find the 4th one. The breach comes in over the surely. Strengthened out, gets his hands on an Ascent. But the trade is going to come real quick from Hush. Master gets the bazooka off the fire them. He's gonna get the kill onto Rexy, but the return fire in the hole coming in from Hush with that bazooka. That grenade also gonna be tossed down. The bazooka coming in from Hush, trying to find someone, but I don't think he's gonna end up. Oh, he gets 2 kills! And just like that, RAD Syndicate, this map is done and dusted.
Absolutely.
Master, how well can you go? You can move very well. 2 quick kills. What Noble Esports would be up to as Master shuts down the fish, goes back and finds the Omen. Just a lot. And look at Starboy comes back in. Rexy pulling it back with 2 collapses.
And Paradox is just waiting towards B window, waiting patiently for Tito. Tito sees the angle, but Paradox, he's fast.
Have come in from Noble Esports. So maybe this push won't go their way, but Master has something to say about that. Is able to find the first kill. Hush, quick to trade him out. Can he find the second one? Yes, he can. They in fact even pick up Batman. That's what happens. You don't keep up with the kill feed, but RAD Syndicate first high round. It's down to a 1v1. Not a situation you want, but look at this. The Jet actually taking the sound of the... Oh no, the Jet's holding it. No, he's not. He sees the sand. Really tension here, Harsh, and his patience is rewarded as he finds 2 kills for 1. Master caught between a rock and a hard place, and he's not going to be able to get the kill.
That requires to deal with. He's managing to try and get past them, and he's just holding down the spray. The ability to react and adjust, and that's really making the difference for RAD Syndicate. Now it's MPDF, who's got himself a Spectre. He'll take up these kills. Batman will chime in with 1. He manages to pick off side. The spike does get planted. 4 members are nobly put bit by bit trying to take control of the side, but there's still Starboy anchoring on from back of side, getting that kill needed on the Hika. He's going to follow it up with another 2v1 on the Tito.
I can get the neural set up and running. Because if that gets up and running, that big of a loss, but it's still a man advantage in the favor of RAD Syndicate. Can they do more here though? ZPDF is able to find a second pick onto Arch, and looks like this push is quickly going to scrap for Noble Esports as RAD Syndicate are able to shut it down rather swiftly. Master comes in.
3 members of Noble Esports, have they got enough? Make that 2. Hush has been deleted. Rexy dead. Hika to follow.
Batman with the collateral. Holy crap. I mean, we were talking about how side pulled through, but Batman in that last round as their IGL managed to pull it back in the favor of RAD Syndicate. And ladies and gentlemen, what a BO3. We couldn't have asked for a better ending.
Reposition himself, and SMX, he's going to end up falling. Goro with the Vandal finds the kills, but Scargod and Knight Rider are there for those kills, for those strays, as Knight Rider finds 2 crucial kills with the knives. It's NXS all by himself with that Sheriff. He's going to tap the spike, but I don't think he's going to be able to do this. He needs the headshot. He gets the headshot. So it's not going to be easy to take control of Lambs. Dodge has tossed the flash. There is a smoke coming in from the Brimstone on the spike. Somebody needs to tap it. Somebody needs time to tap it. But NXS is just finding kill after kill after kill, and now it's 1 man for the defense, SMX, and look at how far he's been pushed off. The operator paying dividends, Floki, as
This round could just be shut down very quickly for Team Villainous. As you've seen, all the rounds they've lost and from back with that Thunder. For now, the flash is coming in from the Jet. Is going to get blinded, but not before finding the pick. Quick to find the trade. Quick to find a man advantage to get spawned. No! Quick single-handedly locking down the site. Down to a 3v1 FaR Esports. They are going to be caught with their pants down. And the side of FaR Esports are going to find some control towards A. They're just not going in yet, so the 3 people are still together and Quake is cleaning them up. Most certainly going to be 4-7. In fact, look at NSX, he's gotten the other corner. Spam is not going to come through, and he's going to be greeted from the back as NXS by 3 kills, single-handedly shutting down this mid control coming in from FaR Esports. And NXS, this round is done, it's dusted.
he's aggressive with the breach. Is it good enough for FaR? Knight Rider now with the op will sing, and SMX with the Phantom will manage to pick up 2 crucial kills. I don't know what kind of pie is going to be coming out from Villainous. I don't even know if Quake can clutch it. No, he can't. The Rolling Thunder. So they'll start with the run it back. Stargod will deal with it. Knight Rider actually finds a kill elsewhere onto the enemy Jet. That's huge. So 1 ultimate down. Dodge finds a kill. No opportunity for the neural theft. Shivy, the first point of contact towards B-Main, finds 2 crucial kills with the Phantom. And there's Knight Rider with the op. The defense is done it. They've shut them down.
From the side of Team Villainous, but can they find kills? That's the question. Whitehorse shutting the push down, gets the first kill onto NXS. The bazooka goes off from Scargod. Does do a fair amount of damage, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. The grenade is going to find the kill. It's going to find 2, in fact. Food the God also ends up going down. And this match is most certainly done and dusted, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going to a game number 3 as FaR Esports take game number 2 on split.
Smoke has come out to a defender spawn. Quake has been smoked off. He doesn't have the recon bolt for information, so he's got to spray wildly based on whatever sound cues he gets. The paranoia there, and Quake with the spray finds 2 crucial kills. Progress towards the side. Shivy is the one though with the spike, and Quake will not let Knight Rider pass. It's now a 2v3 for the offense, and it's slowly chipping down to just 1 man on the server. Stargod, he made progress towards the side. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our second map of the day. You're watching the One Play Esports Valorant India Invitational. My name is Vivek. With me is Floki. What's up, Floki?
Not much, man. I mean, that was a sick game. In all honesty, it was really close for the first, 18 rounds. And then all of a sudden just pulled back and it just went in FaR Esports' favor as they just strung together a couple of rounds. It was hilarious too, just that one round where Paradox was able to get behind them and just get those flags with the classic and the knife. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I think it was a good map to start with for FaR Esports, but I think this is where FaR Esports are really going to get tested because Haven is a very tricky map. I mean, the stats, I'm just pulling out the stats. It's literally tied at 50-50. So I
Jeez.
think after we see the meta evolve a little bit more on the first track qualifier, we'll be able to tell what kind of map Haven is. We need like more data to really break it down. I think it can go anyway. It's just that the defense sometimes really struggles to hold on to all three spike sites, and the offense gets that, you know, the
Yep.
opportunity to split it open. So it boils down to whoever plays their fundamentals better. Now, FaR Esports, they actually managed to sneak in a win on split, which was really big for them. Because now RAD Syndicate, they have to start out on offense, so they've got to play the offense of their lives here if they want to win Haven, and then it's all going to
Yeah.
boil down to the duelists. It's going to boil down to, you know, what Paradox can do. It's going to boil down to what Master can do. How good is Master's Blaze? How good is Paradox Jet? You already put the pressure on individual play now, Floki.
Absolutely. And Haven is one of those maps where I believe you've said that there is a certain peaker's advantage towards that A site. So the defense can exploit that to play a little aggressively early on, maybe even get some control towards A just to minimize the options that the offense has. And on a map like Haven, that can end up working out because even the attackers like to play split up a little bit to get at least some semblance of information at the start of the round. They could just commit onto a particular area, but it is a bit of a gamble. And the meta is also once again not set in stone entirely because we don't know yet. There's just not enough data to know if it's a lot better to just play one side or just to play mid and say towards the C side on Haven as attackers, or if it's better to just split up and get information. The stats are not out there yet, but they will be eventually. And this is the time where teams try new things, or they try different things, and they see what works and what doesn't. And I'm excited to see the approach that RAD Syndicate will bring to this one because they're gonna have to be cheeky if they want to win this one, Vivek.
Yeah, it's going to be a really tricky start for RAD Syndicate because they've lost map 1. So map 2, which is Haven, they've really got to put everything together. You see the agents picked up on your screen. So I'm just going to quickly run you through the agent drafts, so to speak. You got Paradox. He's going to be playing the Phoenix. You have Master. Master's again going to be on the Raze. ZBDF is going to be providing control with the Omen. And then you have a Sova and a Cypher. So on the other side for FaR Esports, you have a Sova and you have a Cypher. But they've opted for Breach, which I think is interesting. I think Breach is a very interesting pick, especially when you know that you're going to be starting out on defense. And I think along with that, they feel that the control that the Omen gives is more than enough. So just to break down these set of picks, I think the real difference maker for both teams is going to again be between SMX and Starboy. I think this is a map where the Sovas can really shine. There are a lot of lineups that, you know, the average journalist might not know, Floki, but these Sovas have got to know. And I think SMX versus the enemy Sova is going to be a very interesting duel. I think SMX versus Starboy is what you want to look out for on this map. So if I had to pick a difference maker, I'm going to pick the Sovas. So we're going to be jumping into our map. It is Haven. It is map number 2 between RAD Syndicate and FaR Esports. FaR Esports have already managed to take a map. They've already managed to win split despite starting out on the offense. They have the advantage this time around. Can their draft really work? Is that Breach good
Really
enough for
interesting
Haven?
to see. Yeah, really a different approach by both teams here, with FaR Esports looking to go for this Breach and Jet pickup, while RAD Syndicate just double down on the Duelist and pick themselves up a Raze and a Phoenix. Now, the cool thing is, well, there's been a bunch of trades here right off the bat, but seems like RAD Syndicate will be able to make their way towards this A site as they're all running in, and well, Shivy, he's caught with his pants down, and just like that, RAD Syndicate making a 3-1 this round is most certainly in their favor. White Horse, a poor lonely Cypher all by himself, getting short darts thrown at him, trying to dodge them like he's playing dodgeball. And we'll see how many kills he can get. He picks up the Sova, but he ends up getting caught out by that Cypher dart. And well, this is not going to be an easy task by any means. ZBDF even picks him up. No need for a trade, no need for a crossfire. And RAD Syndicate, they run away with the first round. So far, so good.
Yeah, they're going to be... FaR Esports are going to be a little unpleased about that. Now, one thing I wanted to point out about Haven is that if you do manage to get aggressive towards a shot on defense, you really do have an advantage in terms of the angle, and if you have the right weapons, you can really take your opponents off guard. That aggression really was punished by RAD Syndicate, and in the end, RAD Syndicate managed to clinch that round. So now FaR Esports, their gamble didn't pay off, and now they've got to, play with a lot more caution and start to build that economy. Maybe even try and get together an operator for Knight Rider if that's what it takes. For now, the SMX is just going to push, and with the classic, him and White House have managed to do enough. They managed to find 2 crucial kills. This push works, but Shivy just sneaking up into B window will be punished. His Batman was ready for this aggression, and he's going to take all these free kills. I mean, with the Spectre, that's easy picking. So Batman finds those kills. RAD Syndicate put up another round on the scoreboard, and now FaR Esports, are they really going to gamble? Are they going to wait for the operator? What's the player for FaR Esports?
I think you can basically get a buy going on most of your other agents. It's just going to be the Jet who's working with a Sheriff. Now, one interesting thing that you could do, and this is like a really big gamble, is you could buy a weapon, drop it for the Jet, let her save the money, and let the Jet do the entry for you. So maybe the Sova or maybe the Omen can hand over the rifle to the Jet, and you can enter with the Jet, essentially with the weapon and the money. So it is high risk, but it's also high reward. But so far, Knight Rider is shutting down this push, and like you mentioned, that A shot here can be really, really significant for the defenders because they have such a substantial advantage, and FaR Esports are really pushing that advantage to its fullest potential as Knight Rider shuts down this A side take all by himself, getting these 3 kills, and now the Cypher slowly creeping up towards the shot area as RAD Syndicate, well, they need to decide where they want to go, and it's going to be A.
Yeah, it seems as if they want to go A. I mean, Batman has set up the tripwires, and both him and Master are trying to work the A spike side. Master needs to really help out Batman here. The rotations from the defense are starting to move towards A. I think FaR Esports have a little bit of information that they're coming onto A, and the paranoia is there. White House being set up, and Knight Rider doesn't need setup because Scarguard with the Phantom is going to take that last kill.
Yeah, and just like that, FaR Esports able to finally fight back in the buy round. They had a pretty good showing as well in the previous round where they were able to get some kills early on. Their early aggression with the classics paying off. But this time around, FaR Esports, they get themselves the real guns, the big guns, and they're able to pull out a win. Now, RAD Syndicate, they are stuck in this awkward position where they have to do this sort of semi-buy. It's not going to be the best buy in the world. It is something that you can make do with. It is something that can work. But they're really going to have to pull up their socks and play together in this one if they want to take this round and cause some serious economical damage to FaR Esports. FaR Esports, though, on the other hand, they're just able to find kills rather easily with those tracking devices available on Sova, making it this a 5v4 right off the start. White Horse just holding this angle for now, and Scarguard, he's been like a rock, just not letting anyone enter this bomb site. He's gonna switch his position, get a third kill, get a fourth. In fact, he gets the ace with the collateral. Well, it wasn't really a collateral, but it was a single man spraying everyone down as Scarguard again finding an ace, Vivek. We saw him get an ace in the last map, and he's on fire in this one as well.
Yeah, I mean, this time, I think the switch up from the previous map, Floki, that the chat needs to remember is that Scarguard is playing the Omen, SMX is playing the Sova. So Scarguard has taken it upon himself to, push and get those kills as and when he can. So there is some controlled aggression behind the defense. Right now, if you just look at the Cypher trips, it's to help out one C window where Scarguard is playing. Shivi's just going to be holding on to B all by himself. So this seems to be the standard setup. It is a setup that's meant to be fluid, and Shivi's actually called for reinforcements. The run it back being used, Batman does manage to find a kill. The run it back not resulting in anything. Batman doing his bit, just being there for the team. And this should help out the offense. They have the numbers advantage. Where do they go with the spike?
Yeah, and I think we're going to be finding the answer to that question soon as they're just rushing into this A side to get the spike down. The Cypher getting control of the backside area. And now playing this post plant with the breach, it can be pretty easy. This is why you get a breach, but the double initiators like we talked about, Vivek, the Sova and breach really working together. The fault line wasn't used. I think he was waiting for someone to get in position to make the best use of that ability. But Badman, he has plans of himself as he's able to find another kill, and ZBTF also able to pick up Scargod. And once again, this game is starting to become rather close, Vivek. The second buy round going in the favor of FaR. I believe that was RAD Syndicate. Yeah, RAD Syndicate managing to pull it back once again after winning the pistol and the next round.
Yeah, so we've seen the classic back and forth, the tug of war. Now, I think the mistake that FaR made in that round was just getting a bit too excited and starting to push for information. You can't do that versus Badman because Badman is a very solid Cypher. He knows what he's doing. And yeah, I think now FaR Esports will be a little bit more conservative. Just as I say that, Knight Rider says, let's ignore the stream, let's ignore the broadcast, let's just go for kills. As he dry peeks out of the C window area, out of garage, and gets himself a kill. He doesn't die to the Hunter's Fury, Floki, so that's one thing working in his favor. The operator has seemed to have paid dividends for FaR Esports. Knight Rider gets that opening.
Yep.
Now they have a numbers advantage. All they have to do is be patient and wait. Are they going to be that patient?
Well, they seem to be being patient. They're not really forcing their hand over here. Giving up this B side, just playing it for the retake, as we've seen many teams do in the past. And once again, this Jet is just like a pesky mosquito. You know, you get the kill, you get the hell out, you're not really able to catch her. And as a result, you're just stuck in this awkward situation. And Knight Rider is making it even more awkward as he finds himself ZBDF, caught with his pants down. Paradox once again lurking in towards his backside, allows them to enter. And finally, some ray of hope for RAD Syndicate as they're able to make this a 4v3. The Jet, low, has the operator to work with though, so it's not going to be as easy of a task for RAD Syndicate to pull this off. But the Cypher just wanders in and gets his head blown off by Paradox. Has another flash at the ready, but it's going to get spammed out by Shivy as he finds a kill. And Knight Rider, he is looking hot as he finds himself another kill with the op. And down to a 2v1. Breach is covering his ally. The Jet gonna stick the gonna stick the defuse, and FaR Esports will put another round for themselves on the board. And even a little nod by Shiv saying that, nope, you cannot have this site, you cannot have this plant.
Yeah, I think Knight Rider, you know, what he did was he faked the defuse first, so that they would, you know, get a reaction from Batman and find out where he was. I think Shivi was pretty confident that he was playing the post plant outside of B, towards B window, and Batman had no option other than to give away his position. Unfortunately, that spam didn't get him the kill. He tried to spam the spike. People were trying to ping it on the map as well, if I'm not mistaken, just to help him out. That's something you can do. It's not the... I don't even know what the default plant is towards B. Sometimes if you have the luxury, you can just plant for window. Defaults are being discovered. For now, Paradox discovers Scargod and his Phantom. A bullet will be his undoing as Batman and the others are just trying to force C long. It's not really worked out. The spike is there. Neural type being committed. ZBDF does manage to find one kill. He's taken out the enemy Omen. So the Omens are in their own little duel in this universe, Floki. But Master and the others, I think they're just trying to get the heck out of there. But the problem is Knight Rider is there with the operator. And Knight Rider has managed to drop the spike. He goes for that last little peek, but he's quick enough to dash. And he's lucky enough to have teammates like SMX because it works out in the end. They win that round. C-Long is not that easy to force.
Absolutely, and I think that was a perfect demonstration of that. Forcing C-Long, just giving the Jet all the room in the world to work with, able to push out all the way towards attacker spawn. That's not exactly what you hope for when you're playing on that attacking side. The defense just really pushes out that fearlessly. I mean, not even dropping a smoke or showing any sort of presence in that mid area to deter the Jet from making that push. Even a simple Cypher camera could do the trick. But, well, oh, wow, that was beautiful by Knight Rider. Man, that was nutty.
How much more does he push for, though? I
I
mean,
think he's done his job.
I think he's done his job, and now SMX. I said the difference makers can be the Sovas. SMX is showing us that he knows how to work with the Hunter's Fury. Shivi will chime in with the Vandal, and Skargon says enough is enough and just drops down from C window, takes care of ZBDF. It looks as if FaR Esports have come to play, and they do not want to give any more rounds to the side of RAD Syndicate. RAD Syndicate, guys, just to remind you, they're in a one-map disadvantage. They've got a couple of ultimates this time around that they can work with. ZBDF can use the teleport and get some information. Master's also got the showstopper. Batman this time has the neural theft. So if FaR get aggressive, if Knight Rider's tendencies can be read, if Knight Rider's tendencies can be punished, then you could see RAD Syndicate actually get the spike down and win this round. For now, Knight Rider is going to push out a shot. He did have a small fault line to help him. He doesn't get too much information because the entirety of RAD Syndicate is coming up A long, and Batman has gotten one kill, but Knight Rider with the operator has not been challenged. The showstopper gets nothing. Knight Rider's done his bit. The defense trying their best to stall them. Whitehouse also chiming in as ZBDF tries to get cheeky as he TPs onto that box, but he is not going to get away with too much. The Rolling Thunder committed. The flashpoint there at the ready if needed. Whitehouse will clear under heaven. Beautiful job coming up from Whitehouse. The spike has been tapped, and now it's Master. And Master, one man standing. That's a rather predictable post-plan place to be in. It doesn't always work out. Whitehouse was ready. The comms were solid. The defense is starting to show up. And I don't know if RAD Syndicate will get any more rounds now, Floki.
Yeah, and FaR Esports, they've really run away with the lead here. A lot of money in the bank for each of the player, except maybe Skargod. They can't afford to lose a few rounds. Look at Knight Rider's economy, man. He has 8,200 credits on top of all his utility and his full shields and the op. So that guy is not going to be getting off of his operator anytime soon. RAD Syndicate, they really need to string together a win somehow, and maybe that's the way to do it. Maybe they put a lot of pressure on Knight Rider and on towards this op, maybe force him out of position and just get the plant down and play it post-plant. But look at Knight Rider, always crisp with the aim, finds the pick onto ZBDF, and Shivi, all by himself, is going to drop the aftershock, forces that race to move in, and is able to pick up a kill. Now with 5v3, this round is not looking too good for RAD Syndicate. No weapons to work with, not even a man advantage, and SMX just spamming through the wall was able to pick up the kill on the Phoenix, who had the run back but didn't use it. Finally, Badman will find a trade, but it's still a trade at the end of the day on Whitehorse, and not sure what more he can do. He's gonna get caught out by SMX, and this round, I mean, this game is slowly starting to tilt in the favor of FaR Esports, Vivek.
Yeah, I think you used the right word there. Tilt, Floki. I think tilt is starting to set in, and RAD Syndicate, they've got to remember that 3 rounds on offense is good to start with, but they need more. Paradox does have the run it back. Can he really find some sort of an opening for the team? I'm not quite sure. It's him and Starboy that have got to try and make some magic happen. C Long is where they're grouped up. Their smoke's being tossed out by both Omens. Now Paradox wants to really push through and maybe find something. There you go. There's the run it back. He spots Whitehouse. He knows where Whitehouse is. The Hunter's Fury being committed. Paradox will do his bit. They've undone Whitehouse. The Hunter's Fury will push back the others. Skargod has fallen as well. Shivi doesn't have the Rolling Thunder, so he can't do all that much, and he's been tagged up. But Knight Rider with the pincer will manage to weaken the offense. Paradox did his bit on the entry, but the operator is there, clearing angles bit by bit towards C-Long. SMX has got the recon down, but the smoke! No! The smoke timed out. SMX got looking a little bit silly. Master just playing close towards the smoke. And,
well,
yeah,
I mean,
I don't think there's a retake anymore, Floki.
Yeah, there's no retake over here. You just save whatever you can. Maybe I think they have enough on economy to maybe try, but it's too late for that now. Now certainly there's no time. But yeah, RAD Syndicate, if they can pull back a few more rounds on this offense of theirs, they could have an easier time defending. I mean, it's not so bad on defense as the defenders, especially if you're able to win the first pistol. It can be pretty easy to establish a lead because you need to keep you can keep the attackers guessing, right? With these three sites, it's perfectly 50-50. So the team that takes more initiative, so the team that decides to gather more information and take a few more calculated risks is the team that will come out on top. And FaR Esports have been doing just that. They've not been playing very statically. We saw the Jet push up multiple times. We've seen even SMX go for those sort of aggressive plays and using that Hunter's Fury when he feels confident that he's going to find a kill. And that's just what a 50-50 map like Haven rewards. And so far, RAD Syndicate, they have managed to put one round back in their favor. It'd be really nice if they could run away with another one, but I don't think FaR Esports is going to make it any easier for them. All three ults up as well for FaR Esports. They have a Cypher ult, they have an Omen ult, and a Jet ult. So this is going to be a little difficult for RAD Syndicate.
Night Rider, I think his body's showing. They know where he is. I think Paradox saw him, but Paradox didn't fire. Night Rider peeks, takes the kill, dashes out, gets another. Night Rider's done his bit. Whitehorse tries to back him up, but Master there with the trade, and Night Rider this time now working with the knives. The offense tries to work C, but C window is not looking nice for them, and now they're starting to swing. They're starting to swing towards B. At B, though, they have to get past Kargot. Kargot just holding this close angle. The paranoia can be a problem. He gives away his position, but if it's not him, it's SMX. SMX there with the trades, and SMX there with the style points. That's the shock dart. Does clip ZBDF. I said the Sovas could be the difference makers, and SMX, well, if you don't know the lineups, you can still be effective at those close angles. And SMX showing us that he knows what he's doing with the Sova on this map, at least on defense. Starboy.
Yeah, he doesn't even need his gun. He just pulls out his bow and arrow and says, you know, I'm going to go primitive on you guys. I'm going to go back to BC and show you guys my swag. I mean, yeah, like... Great stuff by SMX, really, being the difference maker like we've mentioned, but you have to commend Paradox too. His hopping has been really solid on defense. He was able to string together rounds that wouldn't have otherwise been possible. Really, the operator being used with a ton of discipline, and that's when you see it being the most effective, really. And I think the Jet players recognize that perfectly. Paradox, I think you can easily call him the MVP for the half, but for now SMX was able to find the first kill. ZBDF picks up another one of FaR Night Rider, and this is not bad for the offense. They're all grouped up together mid. They have the spike in their favor. They know that no one is pushing out from this garage area, so they can attack the side. They know no one's really going to be playing close garage, really. Even if they are, it's pretty easy to get a trade. So they could push up here if they so decide, and now it seems like they're going to start to make their move. They guys, oh, okay guys, it's highly unlikely someone's playing here. Let's just go in, clear all corners, make sure we get the trades right if necessary, and yeah, they're going to have C control. It's going to be Cypher all by himself. Let's see how much he can do. Badman though with the swag gets the headshot with just one bullet. They know me for my one taps, but this is not a French guy. This is actually an Indian guy, and Master, well, he comes in from the back and is able to pick up 2 quick kills, and RAD Syndicate quick to shut down the FaR Esports offense. And just like that, SMX all by his lonesome, the spike being tapped, Master is there to secure the final kill. Great stuff coming out here by RAD Syndicate. Man, the synergy between Badman and Master, that was beautiful to see.
Yeah, great stuff coming out from Batman. I mean, he had to just hold them down. I think even ZBDF getting that opening kill with the Frenzy. All those things really came together for the side of RAD Esports. And yep, they win the pistol. I think now we're really going to see Batman in play, because Batman is the man who knows how they rotate. I mean, Batman is... The chap who has the best read on defense, at least I'd like to believe. He's doing his best to anchor down C, and he's also helping with C window. So Master has a little bit of help. So Master can float around the map and put that ghost to use. ZBDF on the side, going to get blinded. Shivy just being super effective there with the flashpoint. But it's not going to be all that simple. Paradox is asking questions with the judge. Starboy also chiming in with the Spectre. The spike does get planted. I feel that FaR Esports mentally did what they wanted in that round. They got the spike down. They started to build some economy. Now they got a buy. And if you look at the defense, I think they managed to pick up a couple of weapons as well. So they're just hopping about the side. Master, Paradox, Master, Batman, and Starboy are just trying to pick up as many weapons as possible. So the judge will linger onto the next round. Batman's got himself a Phantom. So they're maintaining that economy on RAD Esports.
Yeah, and once again, RAD Syndicate, I mean, able to come back on this defense side. It's going to be interesting to see what FaR Esports pulls out of their bag, because we've seen they have a solid defense, but do they have as solid of an offense, like you mentioned, Vivek? Like earlier on, you said that a sign of a good IGL is that their offense is as good as their defense is, and this is the trial by fire for FaR Esports. Can they string together a series of round wins on the offense side? SMX, though, look at him. He's actually able to get the opening kill along with Knight Rider, and well, I was questioning them, but look at me and how silly I look. And oh wow, beautiful stuff coming out here from FaR Esports. Actually, after they get the kill on towards A, they're moving on towards the C side. They know it's going to be empty. They know they're going to be responding after getting those 2 quick kills. And they're right, they wander in. There's nobody on the side. There is a Cypher, but he's way out of position, and Scargod is able to pick up the kill on him. Now a 5v2. RAD Syndicate most certainly should be saving for the next round, but as I say that, they were making their way in. Starboy is able to find a kill onto Whitehorse, but I doubt they're going to be able to do anything more. Great stuff coming up by FaR Esports. Very quick move, very quick awareness, understanding that getting those 2 kills on the A side means the rotations are going to come in very quickly. So they move all the way back, play the mind games, and they come out on top.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at RAD Syndicate, the way this map works out for them is how much can the Sova as well as the Omen really enable the Raze. I think that's what it boils down to. So how much can Master be enabled on defense? Master can do a lot, but Master has got to remember that everybody's not going to just keep coming into C window. Nobody's going to keep coming into C window time and time again.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be all that easy for Master. So
and
I really don't know what the way forward is for RAD Syndicate. I think it's going to boil down to, does Paradox get ultimate points and does Paradox start to push?
Yeah. And once again, I have to mention, like, the way they're playing this, it can be so hard, right? Like you mentioned, you can't just hold C window and hope that it works out in your favor, because this is a map with 3 sites. You need to spread out your agents, and if you're spreading them out in such a fashion, you need to be able to find some information at the start so your team can have some sort of an advantage. Maybe your other players on other bomb sites can make some moves, but when you don't do that, you just get pushed back all the way into your site, and you never know where the attackers are going to come from. And this is exactly what happens. They end up, okay, he finds one, but he's going to get quickly traded out by Knight Rider. So a 4v3, and FaR Esports, they have all the room to work with. They're going to take their time, maybe even look towards mid and see if they can find a pick off there. For now, though, they're going to take it easy. Master, he has his crosshairs placed here, but wow, okay, so this is the double fake. They pretend like they're backing off. They wait for a bit. I guess you could say they were slightly confused, but now they're going to go and attack the A site once again. And RAD Syndicate, they're not ready for this. They're all completely spread out. Starboy, well, you're going to have to show your star power here if you want to win this one. And, well, these flashes coming his way, they're going to just make him blind and blow his head off, as he wasn't even aware of what got him. And just like this, RAD Syndicate, once again, have to make a tough call. Do they go in for the retake, because they are down a few rounds, or do they go for the save?
It's going to boil down to Master. Does Master get a kill? Does Master find an opening? He's got the satchels if he wants it, but no, he's going to get pushed back by the fault line. And RAD Syndicate, I think internally, they've decided to call one fault line, and the fusion cannon just being fired was enough. That is Breach at his effective best. If you use him well enough, he's got so much that he can just throw at you that you're like, nahi yaar, bas, both ho gaya. I'm really not going to try. I'm done for.
Yeah, it's like, have you seen, have you ever gotten into an argument with a BSC driver when you're driving in your car? That guy has a lot less to lose than you do. His car is massive. He can smash it all he wants, and he's not really gonna care. That's what kind of Breach is like. He has so many things he can throw at you that even if you throw some things back at him, you just have more things to throw at you. That's just how it works. So fighting into a Breach can get a little annoying, especially when you.
I know exactly what you're saying, Cloaky, because I used to always fight with auto drivers in Bombay. The people, I mean, for other parts of the world, the people who, what do you call them? Tuk-tuk vehicles? Tuk-tuk vehicles. Yeah. Because those guys have all the time in the world. And I would just keep fighting with them as to why the heck are you not letting me sit in your tuk-tuk at the airport, and why are you charging me some absurd fee? But they'll just sit and argue back with you. And then you got to catch a flight. But now there's an owl drone flying straight at Batman, and Batman thinks it's better to just sidestep it and take that duel. He plays cheeky, close to the smoke, gets punished. Batman dead, Starboy to follow, and now the Hunter's Fury to hold back the rest of this defense as Paradox gets picked off as well. Oh, RAD Syndicate, this was your buy. You do not have all the time in the world. You cannot be a BST bus driver or a tuk-tuk driver. Time is running short, and how much can Master really do with the Vandal?
Well, I don't think you can do a lot when you're Master, because you're all by your lonesome, and the big bad boys on FaR Esports are out to get you. This time around, they even have a few ultimates to work with, so this it's not going to be exactly a very fun round for RAD Syndicate. They really need to pull something unconventional out of the bag if they want to win this one, Vivek, because they've tried everything. They need to start thinking outside the box. And maybe, I mean, I mentioned earlier how they could just give the Jet a rifle, allow her to buy some armor, and save up for the AWP eventually. But that's not something that RAD Syndicate are looking to really explore. For now, though, looks like FaR Esports is just going to be pushing up towards A. No real contest here, but look at this. RAD Syndicate, they're quick to respond. They get the inkling that they're gonna be hitting the site altogether, and that inkling is right. The paranoia goes through, doesn't flip on anyone, but does clear that area. Knight Rider goes in, gets the kill. White House is well able to secure, and this bomb site is gone. They need to wait for everyone else to come back in. Master slowly but surely actually pushing them back, and with the showstopper was able to deal a significant amount of damage, but it doesn't result in a kill. And now stuck in a 1v4. This is almost impossible for Batman, as it's just one man against the world. And well, when you only are working with a sheriff and the enemy team has rifles, the odds aren't exactly stacked in your favor.
Match point.
Match point now for FaR Esports, Vivek. This is not looking good.
Yeah.
That goes there.
It seems that FaR Esports have all the lead to work with. It's like they've got themselves a full 3-course meal, and RAD Syndicate, they're struggling to even buy bread at this point. And I mentioned the AWP earlier. It's going to be Paradox who's using it on the Phoenix. Let's see if he can work his magic here towards this A site. As well, wow, that's a very cheeky Cypher cage. I didn't even know that was possible. But Paradox, that AWP is essentially wasted now. He's gonna have to fall back and hope that the side of FaR Esports come in one by one, and that's kind of what's happening, because Starboy is able to find the kill onto SMX. No recon darts for them in the future. ZPDF finds a second kill onto Shivy, and now Knight Rider and Skargod making their way towards the C site. There is no one here, so they can at least get the plant down. And if they're lucky, they can get the post one. But look at the Cypher camera. It spotted them out. They know that this hit is coming, and the rotations are slowly but surely coming in. But the Cypher on the side of FaR Esports too, just running in and making sure he's able to get to the site on time. But look at this. Master's there to cut him off and cut off the rotation. White House is going to end up falling. At least they get the spike down. And Badman, he is trading them out. So this round is going to go in the favor of RAD Syndicate. They're not going to die so easily, as they're able to get themselves this very, very important round. But the question is, can they do it again? Because FaR Esports, they have all the money in the world to work with. And they're going to have to keep doing this again and again and again and again. And then some more, because this map is going to be going to overtime if RAD Syndicate are to win it and push it to a BO3.
Yep. To be precise, they need to do it 4 more times, Floki. Now they've got a couple of abilities to work with. I think Batman as his neural theft. I think they have the teleport available if they want it on their Omen. I think those are the two things I did manage to catch. I'm not sure if Starboy has the Hunter's Fury, but now Batman and the others have a little bit more confidence to work with on RAD Syndicate. Yeah, Starboy does commit the Hunter's Fury very early on. He doesn't get too much. Now he's sending the Owl Drone towards shot. He might get traded.
No.
A dash is not even required, Floki. A dash was not even required. And they got rid of ZBDF on the spike side. So ZBDF is in there with his ultimate. Paradox, he's got himself an operator, Floki. But
Yeah.
he's got to be fluid because they're switching things up. They're swinging. They've got control of C, Floki.
It's hit and run like we mentioned earlier. I mean, this is something that FaR Esports love to do. They show presence towards one side, they get a few kills, and they instantly back off and run to the other one. They like to be cheeky as they are, and White House is able to pick up the kill onto Badman. So any hopes for the C defense are slowly but surely crumbling down. RAD Syndicate, what can you do here? You need miracles, and I'm not sure if they put in their prayers last night and if God's on their side, because that's the only way they're able to pull this back with some miracle of sorts. Master is really gonna have to channel his inner Naruto and put on the best taijutsu he can, like you mentioned earlier, because that's all he can do at this point. Paradox though misses the shot. No, it's not what you want. I did think he tagged him, right? Yeah, he tagged him. He's actually quite low. Am I seeing things?
It's a leg shot. A leg shot is 120 damage, but it's not enough. The Rolling Thunder committed. Paradox, one man with an operator. Time is ticking, and I don't think RAD Syndicate have enough to clutch this out. RAD Syndicate, unfortunately, Floki, are going to lose this best of 3. Haven?
Yeah.
Not their map. And Ascent, excuse me, what am I saying? Split, not their map either. They started out on defense on Split, Floki, and they're going to be really, really disappointed about how Split turned out for them.
Absolutely, and this is another thing that we talked about. You know, if you're not able to put rounds on the defense side in a map that is defensive favored, you better have a really good attacking strategy, because otherwise you're not going to be able to pull rounds back. And historically what we've seen is if you don't really have a solid defense, you're not going to have that great of an offense either, because a good defense needs a lot of thought, it needs a lot of strategy, it needs communication. And RAD Syndicate, it seems that they weren't exactly on the more positive side of that particular spectrum in this best of 3. FaR Esports though, they come out on top, and wow, look at Knight Rider's stats. He's gotten himself 24 kills in this single map with 20 rounds. He's actually got more than 1 kill per round.
Yeah, I think what Knight Rider really did effectively on this map, Floki, was pushing out A shot, whether he had the Vandal, and especially when he did peek from A long, when he had the operator, he did his bit. So just because A is a part of this map that, you know, a lot of teams just sleep on, because it's harder to contest B, and you can't go C long if you don't get control of, you know, C window. So it can be really, really tricky, Floki.
Absolutely,
So,
and
yeah. Those pushes by Knight Rider, my bad. Those pushes by Knight Rider really made the difference in my mind.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I mean, when you give this man some room to work, like, he just goes ballistic. They gave him an inch when they didn't have any presence towards that mid, that particular round, and he just exploited that so brilliantly, right? There's no Cypher camera, there's no tripwire, there's nothing to really spot him out, and he picks up 3 kills on towards that defense, on towards that attacking side. And even though that was a force bar, even though that was a bit of an eco from RAD Syndicate, it still shows great awareness. It still shows the ability to recognize advantages and make good use of them. And what else can you ask for in a person who's already good at aiming, who's already good at taking the initial duels? I mean, I think that's the kind of picture perfect duelist you could have on your team. And I have to say, if I had to pick an MVP, it's a close call between SMX and Knight Rider, but I'm going to go with Knight Rider purely for that performance in Haven.
Yeah, I think for the side of FaR Esports, this time around on Haven, it was Knight Rider. Even when I looked at Split, whenever that man had the operator, he was quite effective on Split as well. So that's why I picked Knight Rider as the difference maker for me on Split. I think when we move into our final tomorrow, Floki, between Global Esports and FaR Esports, I think the difference makers are going to be the Jets, because Jet has this fundamental ability that you can push an angle and just dash away.
Get back safely. Exactly. It's a very hit and
Yeah.
run play style. And it can be especially hard to deal with if you're not prepared for it, if you aren't prepared for the Jet. So if you can get inside the mind of the Jet player, I think that's really going to make a difference tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, FaR Esports versus Global Esports will be happening at 12 p.m. IST. That's right, it's noon, 12 p.m. IST. So make sure that you subscribe to One Play Esports. That's the number one play esports on YouTube. You follow them on their social media so you don't miss out on it, even in the case that you're not here for this, even in the case that you're unable to watch one day. Just having the subscription on is going to tell you when the grand finals are, and you don't want to miss the grand finals. Well,
Oh, yeah.
I think that's it for today, Vivek. I think we're going to be seeing you guys tomorrow. In case you like what we did, in case you're liking the tournament, do make sure that you follow us everywhere on our social media. You can follow One Play Esports, like I mentioned earlier. You can find them on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, wherever you can find them by the same name. You can follow Vivek on Instagram at official Vivek, and you can follow me on Twitter at @HerakT. It was a pleasure to have you guys. It was a pleasure to be casting here, and I hope to see you guys again tomorrow.